Falcon Park, Auburn, New York, the site of game number 38 on the year for the Elmira Pioneers. But it's not just the number that's a factor, it's the implication. It's the final game of the regular season for the Elmira Pioneers, who look to try and make it into the playoffs. The way they get there, they win, and they're in. The team facing off in front of them, though, is one that has given them struggles throughout this season. The Auburn Doubledays look to try and counteract that. They've already clinched the 3 seed, potentially make it even further. It's the Elmira Pioneers, it's the Auburn Doubledays, and it's taking place here exclusively on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird taking you through the contest today. And Evan, this is the game to look out on the entire calendar for the West Division.
Yeah, I mean, playoff bracket not solidified yet. Obviously, this game with a large factor, you already mentioned, winning in for the Pioneers. So very big nine innings of baseball in front of us.
And what we're looking at for the Pioneers is you see the score from the last game, 19-2 in favor of Elmira. They ended up beating Geneva. But the big factor that ended up happening, Olean dropped their game yesterday to Niagara, the Ironbacks, who were eliminated back against when the Pioneers beat Geneva. So now Olean, they have to win and have a Pioneers loss to get in the 4 seed. Elmira, they just need one win, or if the Niagara Falls Americans can clean up business out in Olean.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, last week at this time we were talking about a 3-team race to get this one spot. Now it's down to the 2 teams you mentioned between Olean and Elmira. And as you said as well, Olean yesterday did not certainly do themselves any favors, getting run-ruled, might I add, as well, by the Ironbacks north of the border. So very big day for baseball around the PGCBL, but right now in front of us we've got the Pioneers. They'll do what they can.
And we'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening out in Olean with that game and how it ends up changing things. But for the Pioneers, they look to get ready to go as Thomas Cheplick will step up. Here's the starting lineup for you folks here today. Just 9 getting batted for the Pioneers. It's Thomas Cheplick starting things off. Manny Castro, he's second. Brett Baker at third. Jalen Tidwell's the cleanup man. Brandon Duback, he's at first base today at the 5 spot. Tyson Gingrich is in right. Trevor Reed's in left. Ryan Jones, he's been batting a couple times so far at batting 8. And Manny Esley, he's the second baseman in the 9 hole. Cheplick gets ready. First pitch from Muir. And official start time on this ball game, 5:04 p.m. Pitch outside. It's going to go 1-0. And so the Pioneers look to try and take one here. This is the first game that Thomas Cheplick has been in the leadoff spot, replacing in for Alex Davis. As now it's going to be a 2-0 count coming in here. The pitch, that one's fouled off by Cheplick, just a touch late on that one.
Yeah, but not a bad first swing of the day at all. That pitch came in at 86 miles an hour. Did a good job just to get some bat on it. And as a leadoff hitter, all you want to do is try and make contact. Just try and put the ball in play to start the game. Cheplick had a good swing there.
Next pitch from Muir. That one's outside. If you remember the name Muir from previous Pioneers games, that's because he pitched in the last game against the Pioneers where he went 5 innings of work through 131 pitches. Pitch goes in there, and that's down low. Cheplick gets on via walk to start things off. But in that appearance, he ended up throwing 131 pitches where 3 runs were able to score. That was enough to pick up the win for the Pioneers. Now with a man on first, trying to see if they can get something going here. And it's going to be Manny Castro stepping up.
I can't imagine throwing 130 pitches.
That is an impressive feat that you don't see many people do, even in the majors. First pitch here to Castro. That one's up high. It's going to be 1-0. I mean, the pitchers that you think about, even in the majors, when they throw that sort of number, playoff situation sort of deal there, you think Yamamoto in the World Series. That one's inside. It's going to go 2-0.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you see pitchers with those higher pitch counts as well, they're pitching for milestones, whether that's a no-hitter, whether that's a certain amount of strikeouts. They're usually deep into games where they've had a lot of success. That was just a lot of pitches in 5 innings.
2-0, that one goes for ball 3, just a touch inside. So a 3-0 count. Thomas Cheplick over at first base, as you can see over there, in a must-win game for the Pioneers. Win and you're into the playoffs. The pitch, that one called strike. It's going to be a 3-1 count.
Yeah, good pitch there from Muir just to go at Castro in a 3-0 count. But you never want to walk the leadoff man. You especially don't want to walk the two-hitter after walking the leadoff man. He's got to find the strike zone here.
Muir kicks, steals that one. Outside corner strike, very close to going out, but gets the clip there.
Yeah, and that's not a bad pitch to take if you're Castro. It's not where you want it. You can still live with it being a strike with the 3-1 hitters count. Now you just have to be protective of the plate.
Full count incoming, no outs. Muir kicks, steals that one. Swung up in the air, heads over towards right field. Going back there and getting underneath that one is going to be Bert Maxim for the first out. And with that, let's take a peek at the fielders for the Auburn Doubledays. Zach Sperger is over at third. Connor Rome, he's playing shortstop. Nacho Gonzalez is the second baseman, while Brendan Smith, he's at first. The outfield from left to right, it goes Ethan Smith, Daddy Monahan, and Bert Maxim, while Jake Bentavenga is catching for Muir. As now coming up is going to be Brett Baker, who through his past 13 at-bats has not recorded a strikeout. That one goes up high, ball one.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. Baker just been phenomenal at the plate. He's been drawing at-bats. It seems like almost every time he comes up, you're just expecting him to do something exceptional at the plate. Just a fantastic hitter and been having a fantastic season.
He lost his hitting streak recently, however, has turned that and continued his on-base streak. 28 games in a row so far. That one's fouled off, goes the opposite direction. It's going to be a 2-1.
And you hear 28 games, and that's nearly two-thirds of your season right there. You figure that means maybe in the 5th or 6th game of the year. Maybe a little later than that, didn't get on base, but ever since then it's been smooth sailing.
Yeah, once again, this is game number 37 for the Pioneers. Baker not necessarily an starter in every single one of those games, as that one goes high. It's going to be 3-1. But when he's come in, he's basically been that everyday starter even since day one.
Just another thing to monitor, you talk about Muir's pitch count from last game. This is 3 batters and already had 3 batters that he's had a 3-ball count to.
3-1 the pitch. That one's fouled back. So both strikes have come on swings by Brett Baker. Moves that to a 3-2. And for Muir, what do you look for here to try and get off, considering Baker's been on top of all of it?
I mean, he threw a fastball last time to Castro with the idea being he'd put it in play. I wouldn't be surprised if he just throws whatever can get him a strike.
Payoff pitch. That one's fouled back again into the netting.
And that was a fastball there. Here we might see a bit of an off-speed pitch. Obviously, Baker on top of the fastball, just try and change the timing up a little bit. And even if he does put it in play, could be a ground ball and get you out of the inning.
So here goes. Set is Muir. Bentavenga sets up on the outside part of the plate. He'll go too far outside. Another walk in the ball game. 29 games in a row that Brett Baker has gotten on safely. And now coming up is going to be Jalen Tidwell. And so Tidwell enters into this one batting .299. And he's been a strong worker for the Pioneers. He'll get on base no matter how, including those 18 hit-by pitches.
Yeah, it seems like every time he's at the plate, you just have a real expectation for him to reach first base, whether that be from a base hit, whether that be from drawing a walk and a good at-bat, or whether it be from getting hit, as you mentioned.
First pitch, that one, inside strike. So Jalen Tidwell won an award for the Can USA hardest worker in terms of players. He's always out on the field before games at Dunn Field, getting ground balls from Coach Burkhan just to see how they bounce, because shortstop, a hard position to play there. A little bit easier here with that turf field. Still one of the toughest positions on the diamond.
Yeah, still one of the toughest positions in sports as well. You just have to be fully aware of what's going on. You have to be fully aware of what's going to happen if the ball comes to you. You have to be mentally ready and physically ready. Not a lot of positions require you to be mentally sharp and need to be physically sound and mechanically sound. Shortstop is one of them, though, and Tidwell has been putting a lot of work in.
It's an 0-2 count here. He fouled that last pitch off. Stays alive in this at-bat. Thomas Cheplik, he walked to start things off. That one swung on a miss there for strike 3. So first punch-out of the ball game here for Zach Muir. And that is his first of this ball game. He had 8 in his last one. And now coming up is going to be Brandon Duback. He's playing at first base here today. He ended up subbing in to first base in the last game following what seemed to be an injury to Jack Aylward. As first pitch comes to Duback, that one goes there for a strike. Duback, of course, one of those strong batters with runners in scoring position, looking to try and put something on the board for Elmira.
Yeah, Duback is also just one of the best situational hitters on the team. It feels like anytime he's up in a situation like this with runners on, with outs, he always finds a way to put the ball in the right spot.
Inside for a ball, so it's going to go 1-1 so far this season. Brandon Dubeck has 24 RBIs. It's second most on the team, right behind Brett Baker, who's at 33. That one's high. It's going to be 2-0, or 2-1, excuse me. Brett Baker, of course, had that 6 RBI game against Geneva just the other day on Friday. The pitch, that one swung on a miss there for strike 2. Dubeck trying to attack that one just a bit outside. It goes 2-2.
Yeah, and Mira has his fastball working right now. Got Tidwell to strike out on it last at bat and has Dubeck behind on it right now with the count evened up at 2s.
So 2-2 count incoming. The pitch from Muir, that one swung on there, heads over towards foul territory, will go too far to the right, and so will remain in the count.
Muir goes back to his fastball there. Dubeck able to get it started a little quicker this time and fouls it off. Still, however, finds himself in a 2-strike count here. Got to protect if it's close.
So Muir will take a second, as well as Dubeck with the dead ball. Now gets ready to go. He does have a pitch that he can waste if he needs to. 2-2. The pitch, that one swung on there by Dubeck, but getting underneath that one for the can of corn is Ethan Smith. And that will be the end of the top half of the first inning. We'll head to the bottom half of the first momentarily. It's 0-0. Auburn gets ready to bat. Back here at Falcon Park, bottom of the first inning upcoming as Stephen Ambrosio steps up, but he'll have to go against Zachary Nelson, who threw on Friday, but in the opposite of Muir, threw just 47 pitches through 4 innings.
Yeah, I mean, he went in for the first inning, and it was, what, a 4-pitch, 5-pitch inning. It felt like first batter took the first pitch, and then the next 2 pitches were 2 swings, 2 outs. Incredibly efficient his last time on the bump.
As Ambrosio gets to this one, 2 for 18 so far this year. He plays as the extra hitter. Ball 1 comes in there. First pitch there from Zach Nelson, known for a lot of his breaking ball sort of work or off speeds. He looks here. The next pitch, that one's high. It's going to go 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, you beat me to saying it. It definitely seems like he's more of a deception pitcher. Obviously, both of these teams have a lot of guys who can just go out there and try and be fireballers. Nelson tries to live more in the corners with his off-speed, however.
So 2-0, the pitch. That one is swung on there. Heads over towards center field where it'll drop the first hit of the ball game. Baker grabs that one, but Ambrosio has his 3rd hit of the season. It's a man on first for the Doubledays. And so now coming up is going to be Teddy Monahan, who so far this year has just been batting the screws off the baseball. 387 this season, including his 32 RBIs that he has accompanied it with.
Yeah, the guy's just been incredible at the plate. It feels like every time we're watching him take an at-bat, you just know he's a home run risk, but you also know that he finds ways to get on base.
So first pitch comes in with Ambrosio on first. It's strike number 1 coming in. First pitch strike for Zach Nelson. And so he looks to get things to go right now. Ryan Jones, catcher for this one. Pitch, that one goes inside for a ball. You see all that break on the ball there. What does it look like for a hitter?
Yeah, I mean, for a hitter, you're just trying to pick up where the spin is, where it's going. If you can see a dot on it, normally that means it's some kind of an off speed that's going to break. But usually you're just trying to see it, and if it starts in the strike zone, it usually ends up outside the strike zone. If it starts outside the strike zone, it normally winds up inside the strike zone. So being aware of that while also just trying to remember there is a fastball here. If you get that, you also have to try and take advantage of it.
Pickoff attempt on the 2-1 count, no good. So Zach Nelson so far, first 2 batters, has gotten into those 2-1 counts. As Rennie here for Teddy Monahan. The pitch, that one swung on hard, and that's another hit on the ball game. Heading over to second now is going to be Ambrosio, a single to left field by Teddy Monahan, and now it's 2-on immediately for the Doubledays.
Yeah, and getting ahead of batters is going to be very important for Nelson today. Obviously, we've mentioned the implications of what this game holds several times, but as a pitcher, you have to be able to get ahead. When you find yourself behind in the count, that's when you make the mistake pitches, and this Auburn team can punish you if you wind up missing over the plate.
So Nelson continues to try and work here. Look for his first down as Ethan Smith comes up. He's the left fielder for this contest. He shows bunt. He pulls back. Not called. Will be ball 1. Late pullback there, but they say he got it in time. There.
Yeah, and Ryan Jones has an unbelievably strong arm behind the plate here. If he gets to this ball quickly on a bunt, I would not be surprised to see him try and get the lead runner at third base.
Zach Nelson gets set. He throws. The bunt fouled off. So it'll be a 1-1 here. Ambrosio ready to start running over there at second. Try and put the first run on the board for either side and start scoring things early.
And another note here about this one is that this field is artificial turf, meaning a bunt here won't take a funky hop or maybe spin on the dirt a little bit differently where someone's footstep was. Like, the ball's just going to roll exactly how it would under perfect conditions here. The Pioneers have to be aware of that. If the ball's going foul, it will more than likely continue foul.
Time was out. They needed to give Manny Castro his glasses, his sunglasses there. The pitch, bunt shown, no good. Good framing by Ryan Jones, gets a strike. That one looked a little outside when it was first caught.
I mean, you take him where you can get him. Now with a 2-strike count, bunt more than likely going to be off here. If you're Zach Nelson, you just have to capitalize and try and get an out here.
1-2, no outs. The pitch, that one inside, down low, ball 2.
There's another spinner there from Nelson. I like that pitch a lot because you're either going to get the swing and miss on that curveball or you're going to get the ground ball rolled over somewhere on the infield and get your 2 outs. Right now, getting an out is important, but if you get 2 outs, that's an added bonus.
So Zachary Nelson trying to see if he can bounce back after that ball throw. The pitch, that one's high. The count is now completely full for Ethan Smith to try and get things moving here. If he can load the bases, that'll be a big factor for the Auburn Doubledays. So far this season, 16 walks for him. 3-2, the pitch, that one swung foul. Make sure that he stays alive. There will mean 3-2.
And this count right here proves why it's so important to get ahead of hitters. With the full count right here, Nelson can't afford to miss the zone here, walk the bases loaded, so probably going to try and throw a pitch more over the plate than he's comfortable with. Just have to hope that it doesn't get tattooed.
Justin Batts currently waiting on deck. The pitch, that one swung foul again. Batts has been able to just swing on the Elmira Pioneers. So if these bases get loaded, an opportunity to clear them. Batts has a lot of power in his bat. Remains full count. Payoff pitch incoming here with 2 on. The throw high. Bases are now completely loaded. 17th walk of the season for Ethan Smith. Comes in there. And now just 90 feet away from taking the lead over the Elmira Pioneers, who are in a must-win game today. As Bat steps in now. In Olean right now, top of the 5th inning. It's still tied at 1 out for the Americans. If Olean drops that game, the Pioneers automatically make it in regardless of the score of this ball game. But if the Pioneers win this one, they get in. But if Olean wins and Pioneers lose, Olean gets in. That one, beautiful pitch, goes for a strike.
Yeah, I mean, the Pioneers can just make it easy on themselves. They do control their own destinies. A win in this game would certainly clear up a lot of the confusion in the air. However, going to have to be a strong first inning on the mound here from Nelson with the jam he's worked himself into.
That one's down. Good block by Jones to get that one. It's going to be a 1-1. Of course, we've mentioned it before, the difference between these two ballparks, the backstop as well. Not as far back as Dunn Field, so little less opportunity for some of these players who see a ball go to the backstop to try and run. Throw, that one's hit on the ground there. It's attacked by Tidwell. He flips to Esley at second. Throw over the first in time for the double play. Will score a run, though. It's 1-0 in favor of Auburn, and with the 2 outs, we'll take a peek at the fielders for the Elmira Pioneers.
Yeah, going across the infield here for the Pioneers, they got Manny Castro at third base, Jalen Tidwell at short, Manny Esley at second, Brandon Dubek at first. Outfield going left to right is Trevor Reed, Rhett Baker, and Tyson Gingrich, with Ryan Jones doing the catching for Zach Nelson.
So it'll be 1 run on the board. That will not go as an RBI for Justin Batts due to the double play. Either way, though, run scores, and now first pitch swinging there. It'll go foul on that one for Nacho Gonzalez.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a hard swing right there. Nelson threw him a little off speed, came in at 68 miles an hour. Gonzalez just trying to be all upper body there and muscle that ball as far as he could, but he just came up empty.
And so right now the pitch comes in outside. 1-1 the count. And over at third base right now, Teddy Monahan, Stephen Ambrosio was the one who ended up coming home to score that first run. So over on runs in this first inning by either side, and that one's going to go in the outfield. That's going to score another one. Another hit coming in for the Doubledays. Their third hit of this inning. Nacho Gonzalez is on, and now it's 2-0.
Yeah, Nelson just makes a mistake with a fastball there, throws it in there, just trying to get the strike, just catches a little too much plate, and a great piece of hitting there by Gonzalez, sends it right up the middle where nobody is, and now the Doubledays lead 2-0.
The Doubledays bats have been the story of their season, and so far they're letting it take this one. Zach Spurger, the Ithaca College player, comes up now here. First pitch from Nelson, trying to get top zone, no good. Ball 1.
Yeah, it feels like the Liberty League fairly well represented here in the PGCBL. Talking about Teddy Monahan, another Liberty Leaguer playing for the University of Rochester.
As Nelson throws, that one's inside. There, 76 miles per hour, the radar gun reads. It'll be a 1-1 count. And so right now, Pioneers down by 2, trying to just get one more out here following the double play turned with Justin Bass. That one swung on there, heads towards center field where Brett Baker is going to do what Brett Baker does. Makes the catch and gets the out for the third out of the first inning. We'll head to a break. When we return, the Pioneers get ready to bat. They're already down by 2 here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring. Top of the second, we return here at Falcon Park. Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Bayard here for the Pioneers Broadcasting Network, where Auburn already scored 2 in this contest, and now the Pioneers bats look to try and get through here with Tyson Gingrich. He swings on first pitch. That'll be strike number 1, and so Muir gets first pitch strike here.
Yeah, it seems like his fastball is generating a lot of swing and miss right now. Just something to note for the rest of the game.
The pitch, that one hit on the ground there. It's going to be played over there by Gonzalez. He flows over to first in time for the out. Smith with a good grab. So it's 1 down now for Elmira here in the second inning. And coming up now is going to be Trevor Reed, who has come into the spot here since Caleb Delaney's departure, where he's moved over to that left field spot, and he's made some spectacular plays out there just as he does throughout the rest of the field. Yeah,
Reed had his number called with a lot of players departing, and he's answered up to this point. He's been just about everything you could have asked him to be.
That pitch goes in there for a strike. 0-1 count. The pitch, that one fouled back off the top of the bat. He'll go 0-2 now. Enters in today, batting .325 so far this season. Getting ready now. Kick, deal, that one. Outside corner, no good. It's going to be a 1-2.
In this inning, a very large difference for Muir in terms of efficiency. Last inning, we mentioned how many 3-ball counts he had. Meanwhile, he's getting ahead of the batters right now.
That one swung back there. The center fielder, Teddy Monahan, makes the snag for the out. Had to just take a couple of steps backward before making it. And so now coming up is going to be the 8-hitter and Ryan Jones, who enters into this one. Back-to-back games, he's gotten hits, trying to see if he can turn that into a hitting streak. Here, he had a single on Friday, and then also a double earlier in the week against Newark. And so now, here comes Muir. The pitch, that one outside, ball 1.
Yeah, and I mean, Ryan Jones, you mentioned the hitting has been going for him. Obviously, that's not the reason that he finds so much playing time, just an elite backstop for these Pioneers this season. And that defense has generated into him getting some more at-bats.
That one goes for a strike there. I mean, he's able to catch just about what feels like every single runner that's trying to steal. And he continues to do that here. Pitch comes in. That one's inside. For Jones so far this season, he's caught 14 runners stealing. That's the most on this entire team for the Pioneers.
Yeah, it feels like every time the opposing runner takes off, if they don't get about as good a jump as they can and they don't keep running all the way through, seems like Jones has a good chance at getting them.
It's a 3-1 count now incoming here for Ryan Jones. Looking to try and get on right now with 2 down. Gingrich and Reed started this inning off, both getting out. That one's fouled. Jones attacks. Counts now full.
Yeah, and Muir's just, I'm going to be willing to guess that he goes back to his fastball here. It seems like the pitch he has the most faith in right now. Definitely gotten a lot of swing and miss with it, and when it has been hit, it seems like it's mostly just been foul balls.
So now it's a full count, 2 outs. The pitch, that one called strike 3. Second punch out of the ball game for Muir. Pioneers go down 1-2-3. When we return, Zach Nelson looks to continue his momentum to get 3 outs. Back here for the bottom half of the second inning. Pioneers not able to score in the top half. Auburn, they scored 2 in the first. It's 2-0 as Pioneers have a win and in situation, or Olean loses their game to Niagara Falls, which in that game right now, it's the bottom of the 5th inning. There's a man on second base for Olean, tied at 1s. So I have to see how that develops and if we potentially have some Olean fans come into the stream to watch and see their fate take forward. But for the Auburn Doubledays, up to bat now is Bert Maxim, the right fielder. First pitch there by Nelson. Falls on down low. That one went for just 67 miles per hour.
Yeah, right now it feels like Nelson is definitely not trying to go at these hitters with his fastball. It seemed like that was the pitch that got hit around the most last inning. So just trying to do what he can, finessing with his off speed here is going to be the name of the game.
That one just a touch too high. Thought he had it break on in. It's 2-0 now coming here for the batter in Maxim. As Jones gets ready now. Pitch, that one's hit high into the air. Heads over to right center field. Getting underneath it is Tyson Gingrich for the out. 1 down now here in the second.
Yeah, right now Nelson's doing a good job getting weak contact on a lot of pitches. And that's mainly just because he doesn't throw fast enough to generate a lot of that hard contact. I already mentioned with that Nacho Gonzalez swing how much of that came from the upper body. And that's mainly because when you're facing a pitcher like this, all of that power does come from the upper body. You don't have the power from the pitch there to help you as well if you can make contact.
Connor Rumpf now stepping up here for the Doubledays. First pitch, that one goes for a ball. Looking to try and get some big plays here for the team. As, like you were saying, trying to get on top of the pitches that Zach Nelson's dealing. Once again, Nelson pitched on Friday. He pitched against Geneva. 47 pitches that he threw. It's kind of what you expect now is if Elmira makes it into the playoffs, they're going to try and look towards Mikey Geisler to try and use his, what is honestly the opposite of the reservoir of Nelson, go with that fastball to get through. However, the big factor is, can they get there?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like obviously the weight of the world relies on the two games that are in play here. And for the Pioneers, Geisler is definitely just somebody who just brings something different because of how lively his fastball is. I feel like it's something that not many pitchers in this league have, and he certainly has it.
And it also changes because now Nelson has all these breaking pitches that work so well. It's a 3-1 count here. The pitch, that one outside, ball 4. It does bring a different sort of situation. So you have that fastball of Mikey Geisler, which a lot of pitchers have fastballs that can get towards the 80s, Mikey towards the 90s. But when you have a guy that just has all of these breaking pitches, it just molds into something that is different than what you normally see in an arm. As coming up now is going to be Brendan Smith here for the Doubledays as Connor Rumpf walked there. The throw down towards second base, offline. Esley lays the tag, no good. Just a bit outside by Jones there. Now Rumpf is over at second base.
Yeah, rare missed throw there from Ryan Jones. Definitely didn't think that Rumpf got a fantastic jump on that one either. I think a good throw and he would have had him, but throw winds up missing a little bit towards the left side of the mound, and ultimately Rumpf gets second.
So here comes the pitch on the 0-1 count. That one's hit high into the air. Underneath that is going to be Baker for the second out. So down he goes, and now going to be up is the 10-hole hitter and Jake Bentavanga, the catcher. A strong catcher for Auburn this season. He's coming to a lot of those games, has a good job of making sure he gets in front of the baseball. Now with 2 outs, trying to see if he can also get the bat working to bring home a run.
Yeah, with a 2-out scenario here, anything that winds up getting past the infielders are more than likely going to see Rumpf get sent to the plate regardless here. So big at bat here for Nelson. He has to settle in and try and get the out.
Nelson gets set. Manny Esley is framing over towards second. That ball goes in there for a strike. Great job by Ryan Jones on the framing there for strike 1.
Yeah, a little first pitch fastball or cutter in there. That came in at 75 miles an hour. Nelson mixing it up a little bit and does a good job to get strike one.
Pitch, that one swung on there, heads over towards right field. Going back for that one is going to be Gingrich, who catches it in front of the Chemung Canal Trust Company sign and gets the out. We'll step aside. When we return, it's going to be the top of the third inning here from Falcon Park. The Pioneers have to look to try and score some runs. They currently trail 2-0. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. We return here, top of the third inning, upcoming as Manny Esley steps up now. The 9-hole hitter gets ready to go. Used as basically a double leadoff because he's been used as both the leadoff man and as the last batter for the Pioneers team. We're going to try and get them their first hit. Did not swing there. It'll go 1-0.
Yeah, Manny Esley's a guy, you know, the batting average definitely not where he wants it to be, but he can just grind in at bat, make a pitcher work for it. It feels like that's just a rare skill to have in the game of baseball, somebody that can just be a pest at the plate and just make the pitcher work.
2-0 counting coming now, a 192 batting average he has, so just 8 points below the Mendoza line. That one's fouled off there. It's going to be a 2-1 count now incoming here. Looks down his Muir towards Bentavenga. He throws. That one is swung on there. Foul. So it'll be a 2-2. First two pitches balls, next two strikes on fouls. That'll set up this one now. Muir has a pitch that he can waste if he needs to. Trying to get Esley out for the first down of the third. The throw, that one. And that's going to go for a ball. Says that it went a little bit too far high and inside. So that'll be a full count now here for Esley.
I mean, that's back-to-back times now. Muir has gone for his put away with an off speed. Interesting to see because it seems like the fastball is the pitch he is working a lot better right now.
That one, fastball fouled by Esley. So now it remains a full count. The fans here in Auburn not too pleased about that ball 3 call. They thought that he clipped the plate, and got into the zone. Full count, payoff pitch. That one grounded, foul. Inner part of the bat, then Esley hit it off of. Will stay alive here.
Yeah, and again, this just goes back to being able to work in that bat here for Manny Esley. In the full count, already fouled off 1-3-2 as well.
And so now it remains a full count. Manny Esley, so far this season, comes into this one with 13 walks. He's an on-base percentage of about .353, and that there will be walk number 14. He takes ball 4 and now heads over to first base. So we head back to the top of the lineup as Thomas Cheplick gets ready to go for the Pioneers. He walked his first time up, trying to see if he can replicate that again here today with another on base, potentially by a hit that would allow Esley to move. First pitch goes high. There. It'll be a 1-0.
And something that's very underrated is just the height of Tommy Cheplik. Obviously, when you're a little shorter than everybody else, the strike zone becomes a little bit smaller.
That one's hit on the ground there. Gets flipped over towards second base. Gonzalez throws over to first in time for the double play. So that one gets turned by the Doubledays, as now it's 2 down with Manny Castro coming off. Great play there from Rumpf to Gonzalez. Finally to Brendan Smith for the 2 outs.
Yeah, you could never really assume the double play. Sometimes there could just be a little bit of a miscommunication there somewhere, but just a good turn overall by the Doubledays middle infield.
That one goes for a ball. Ball fouls out of Bentavenga's glove. As up to bat now is Manny Castro. He flew out his last time up, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Pitch, that one too high, 2-0. Once again, this game a must-win game for the Pioneers. If they win, they're into the playoffs in the 4th seed. If they lose, they have to hope for a loss in Olean between them and the Americans. That one goes for a ball. It's going to be now a 3-0 count. All determining the 4th seed in the West Division. The final playoff spot, who will go to face Batavia tomorrow evening. 3-0, the pitch, that one inside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk there for Manny Castro, and he gets on once again.
Yeah, I mean, right now Mura's done a great job working himself out of damage, or working himself out of these situations, but it definitely feels like he's not doing himself any favors by putting himself into these situations. He did get the ground ball from Cheplik to turn the double play in this inning, but he has still walked 2 batters as well.
And now Brent Baker comes up here. He walked earlier in this ball game as he gets set now here. Righty-lefty matchup here. The pitch, that one's high towards the eye line. It goes 1-0.
Yeah, right now Mura's fastball, it's coming in consistently in the mid-80s. It just seems like he can't quite locate it perfectly. He's getting a good spot up in the zone, just can't quite hit it perfectly.
That's it on the ground. Muir not able to make the snag there. Grabbed there by Rumpf. Throw over to first. And in time it is. Great play there for backup by Rumpf. Gets the 3rd out, and the Pioneers still hitless in this ball game through 3 innings. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Auburn leads 2-0 here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. We return here, bottom 3 incoming now between the Pioneers and the Auburn Doubledays. And it's coming up to bat here. It's going to be the top of the order. It's Steve Ambrosio stepping up now. He had a single. He represented the first run on the day for the Doubledays. Him and Monahan were able to come home. So now Nelson, you got out of that last inning pretty efficiently. That one goes in there for a ball. It'll be a 1-0.
Yeah, he got out of the last inning working pretty well. He's going to want to try and get another quick inning here, just be able to settle into this one. Obviously, that first inning happened, but you just have to leave that in the past and just try and get as deep into this game as effectively as you can.
That one goes very close inside. It's going to be 2-0. Getting close to potentially hitting Ambrosio with the 64-mile-per-hour breaking ball. 2-0. The pitch, that one goes in there for a strike right down Main Street. It's now going to be a 2-1 count.
And that's an interesting pitch to throw in a 2-0 count right there. 76 right down the middle of the plate from Nelson. He's lucky Ambrosio wasn't looking for it.
And would like to give a score update out in Olean. It is 3-1 in favor of the Oilers. A single allowed them to score 2 runs. So Olean, if they win that ball game and the score stays here, they would get the 4 seed. Although right now it's a 2-2 count coming in for Ambrosio. The pitch, that one swung on, foul once again.
Yeah, Nelson's doing a good job of just throwing pitches in the strike zone, making Ambrosio have to fight him off here. Although, in a 2-2 count after a couple foul balls, he still has a pitch to work with. Wouldn't be surprised to just see the textbook waste right here.
As now it's set. Nelson throws that one high. Good job pulling the bat down there by Ambrosio to make sure it doesn't go foul. It's now going to be a full count.
Yeah, it looks like the idea was just to try and front door a little curveball, just try and get it to catch the inside corner, but obviously he wound up missing high on that one.
Full count, the pitch, that one swung on there, high into the air. Going to attack that one is going to be Brandon Duback. Makes the grab for the out, so 2 down, so 1 down now for the Doubledays.
Yeah, and I mean right there, that's just all you got to do. Just, you know that you're in a full count. You know that you have to go at the hitter. You just get him to jam it, pop it up right there. That's how you get your first out. Really strong start to the inning for Nelson.
So now coming up is Teddy Monahan, who had a hit as well. The first 2 batters of this ball game all got on via singles. He hit that one pull side towards left field. With 1 out down here, he tries to get back into this one. And it seems like that curveball from the top, or whatever kind of breaking ball and pitch he has in there, just not able to find that top of the zone.
Yeah, and I mean, that's normally not where you want to be living with your off-speed pitches, because if you end up missing over the plate and too much over the plate, you've obviously heard it several times, you hang them, we bang them. You don't want to try and miss there with an off-speed. You want to try and miss low in the zone. So interesting to see Nelson trying to get his off-speed to work at the top of the plate.
It's a 1-1 count now coming here for Monahan, who had a grand slam home run against the Pioneers earlier this season. One of the 3 grand slam home runs we've seen all season here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. It's now going to be a 1-2 count. Once again, the bat of the Doubledays has been crucial this season.
Yeah, it feels like every time that they're playing, they're always going to be running the score no matter really who they're playing against. We saw them score 24 here earlier this year against the Pioneers. They're certainly capable of doing a lot with a very potent offense.
2-2 now, as that one was just too high there. It was a breaking ball that just broke away. And I guess something to note about that 3 grand slam number, it was between 2 players. 1 by Teddy Monahan, 2 by Logan Stickler for that Americans team. 2-2, the pitch, that one fouled right back there. It's going to remain a 2-2 count. We hope to see Stickler get another grand slam against Olean today for the Pioneers.
You know the Pioneers are certainly pulling for it down in their dugout.
And here it goes. Set. Now. 2-2 the pitch. That one falls in there. Too high, though. That was very close, but they rule it a ball. It's going to be a full count.
Yeah, right now Nelson trying to get that pitch to work. And I don't know how many more times you can throw it because, again, that high off-speed pitch, if you get it in the strike zone, good chance that somebody can hit it a long way.
That one swung on there by Monahan, heads back towards center field. Brett Baker gets that one easily for the second out. There's been some big swings by the Doubledays, but not enough to try and send it towards the wall. These outfielders have been so strong all season, no matter who's been in the spot, whether it's been Tubman in left, it's been Delaney in right, Gingrich playing those kind of corners, or Reed now in left. Baker consistently in center field.
Yeah, I mean, It seems like the Pioneers' defense this season in the outfield has just been exceptional no matter who's out there. It seems like there's been great range, great gloves, great arms all season. And today's been no exception. Right now, Nelson obviously pitching to contact. A lot of that contact has just been fly balls into the outfield. We saw last inning, Gingrich made 2 plays. Baker made a play. He just made a play on the last batter. It seems like there's been a lot of fly balls in this game, and you have full trust in the Pioneers' outfield to make the plays.
1-0, the pitch here to Ethan Smith, fouled away. It'll go 1-1. And you mentioned all that contact. That's kind of the pitcher that Zach Nelson is. 4 innings his last time out against Geneva, 47 pitches in that, 1 strikeout. That's been how he's gotten his outs. As here comes the next pitch. That one is grounded there. It's going to be grabbed by Tidwell at short. He takes his steps, throws over to first, but it's going to go wide, and it's going to go towards the dugout area. Dubak makes the grab, throws over towards second, where Tidwell makes the tag. Did he get the out? He did. So he makes up there on the play on that one. We'll see what they end up scoring it. It looks as though they don't rule it an error, but that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. We head to the top half of the 4th momentarily here. Auburn leads 2-0 on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. Top of the 4th incoming now. So we got an official scorer's decision on what that last play was with the play over there with Ethan Smith and Jalen Tidwell. So it was first ruled as an E6 and then thrown out on the throw by Brandon Dubak to second base. So that is what it will be officially scored there. As coming up now will actually be Jalen Tidwell here. He throws that one and it'll be fouled off there for strike number 1.
And right here, Tidwell's certainly looking to get on base every time you can get the leadoff man on. Throws the pitcher out of rhythm for the rest of the inning. Can no longer go from the windup. Has to go from the stretch until there's no more base runners. And the Pioneers also just need to get the bats rolling. Right now, they're being held hitless through 3 innings, just looking to do anything they can at the plate.
And you have to ask, because I know you played in that hot corner, and you may know a little bit more about this. What does it feel like as a batter when you come in following what was the last half inning, when you have an error? Is it change at all in your mind how you attack the plate?
I mean, if anything, you just go into your at bat with the mindset of I just have to make up for the mistake. Obviously, in the case of Tidwell, it was just an errant throw where they immediately got the what's the word I'm looking for here?
They got the
redemption.
Yes.
They got the redemption with Dubak getting the throw over at second base. So if you're Tidwell, you're certainly just looking to do anything you can to get on base here, just to get the leadoff man on, get the inning rolling. But it really depends on what the error is and how that factors into your at bat.
So 2-2 count now incoming for Jalen Tidwell here. The pitch, that one, did it go? They ask. They say he did. That did not look like he went, but of course we don't have as great of a view as the field umpire. That'll be the first down via strikeout. Third strikeout of the ball game here for Muir.
Yeah, going to have to defer to the judgment of the people who are being paid to call the game. However, from our vantage point here directly behind the plate, didn't look like a full swing from Tidwell.
Well, now coming up is going to be Brandon Duback, who flew out towards left field. Gets ready to go now here. Muir steps and deals with one out. That one runs inside. It'll be a 1-0 count. Pioneers looking for their first hit of the ball game, as Evan stated earlier. Here, throw, that one high, 2-0.
And I think you would agree with me. It definitely feels like Muir doesn't have the strongest feel for the strike zone today. However, he's able to make pitches. He's able to fight in the counts. He's able to make the batters put the ball in play at somebody. So right now, definitely not doing as good as he can from an efficiency standpoint, but certainly being about as effective as he can be at this point.
He's just a little under, or a little bit over 50% right now in terms of strikes. That one's fouled off. He's thrown a grand total of 63 pitches in this performance so far, and he has 32 strikes, so just a touch over that 50% mark when it comes to strikes and balls. But, of course, that does count the fouls that are swung on there. It's a 2-2 count here for Brandon Duback. Muir throws. That one's hit on the ground. It's going to be attacked there by Rump. He throws over to first. Is it in time? It is. Gets Brandon Duback out there on the 6-3. And now coming up is Tyson Gingrich.
Yeah, not the inning you were looking for if you're the Pioneers. Mentioning Tidwell, how important it was for him to try and get on base. He was unable to reach, and then the next hitter unable to reach. Now the inning falls on Gingrich and nobody on and 2 away.
Pioneers so far in this ballgame have left 3 batters on. Of course, none of those have come by way of a hit. Pitch, that one outside. It's been 4 walks for the Pioneers that have gotten them on. Of course, one of those walks ended up getting out due to a double play turned by the defense of Auburn. Both sides have a double play today. That one runs inside. Did it hit Gingrich? It did not. Came very close to the jersey there. It's going to move to a 1-0 count.
Yeah, obviously I think the reaction of Gingrich shows he wasn't hit there. That one, I think if it would have hit him anywhere, would have been close to that right forearm area. So I think we would have seen a little bit of a reaction if he caught 83 to the arm.
It definitely would. That's not a fun one to take. That one goes in there for a strike. It's going to be 1-1 now here. The final ball game of the regular season for the Elmira Pioneers. Game number 37 on the season. That one swung on there by number 37, Tyson Gingrich. Heads over towards left field. Underneath that one for the catch is going to be Ethan Smith. And we'll step aside. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Pioneers trail 2-0 against Auburn when we return. Bottom of the 4th inning here from Falcon Park. Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird taking it through this one here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. We take a peek at the game happening at Olean right now between the Niagara Falls Americans and the Olean Oilers. Last time I checked, I'm going to refresh my screen in terms of their stats page. They end up scoring. It is 4-1 in favor of Olean as Justin Batts takes first pitch for a ball here. Once again, we'll continue to mention the importance of this ball game and that game out in Olean. If Olean loses, the Elmira Pioneers are guaranteed in. But if Olean wins, Elmira would have to win their own game to make the 4 seed and into the West Division playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, right now feels like a little bit of that 2021 American League wildcard race that came down to the 162nd game of the year for the Yankees, Red Sox, and Blue Jays. It wound up being the Yankees and Red Sox that made the playoffs as they were both in win-in-your-in scenarios, and the Blue Jays needing to rely on the outside help. But it looks like in this scenario, with Olean being more of that Toronto team, it feels like they might be the ones who prevail here, as they may not control their own destiny, but the Pioneers not winning up to this point.
The Pioneers have to try and get a hit when they come back up. Right now, their defense, though, since that first inning, has still stood strong, being able to get some outs. It's right now a 2-2 count here to Batts. That one's hit on the ground there. Tidwell makes a snag. He takes a step. He throws over to first in time for the out. So he gets the first out there. It's one down here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And what a story it would be if Olean could make it into the playoffs. Olean, this is their first season in the PGCBL, playing in the West Division. They were playing in the NYCBL, now in the PGCBL. If they can come in first season, make it into the playoffs, that would be a story. The Pioneers, though, they want to get back. They weren't able to make it last year following their West Division championship the year prior. So that one will go in there for a ball. It's going to be a 1-0 count here coming to the batter for them in Nacho Gonzalez. He has an RBI single so far today. That one is fouled there. So it'll be a 1-1 count right now for the second baseman.
Yeah, last time he got the best of Nelson by getting an inside fastball and just turning on it, sending it right back up the middle here. And again, another huge gap up the middle of the field here based on where Tidwell and Esley are playing. So if he gets a pitch and tries to send it back up the middle, certainly nobody on the middle infield that's going to be there to stop it.
2-1 count now coming in for Gonzalez. Lone player to have an RBI today. Of course, Justin Batts did not get an RBI due to the double play. Here, the pitch, that one is swung on there towards left field. Reed moves back, gets underneath, makes the snag, gets the out. 2 down.
Yeah, and that was a good adjustment there by Trevor Reed. He started out by going left a little bit. Then he had to do a hard turn towards his right a little bit. Ultimately does have to make the adjustment. Makes a good job to make the adjustment there and make the catch in left field. Now with 2 away.
6 of the 8 outs so far, 6 of the 11 outs so far have come by way of the outfield today. So just emphasizing what we're saying about how strong this outfield is for the Pioneers. That one goes for a strike. It'll be an 0-1 count here.
And again, part of it just goes back to Nelson as well, being a contact pitcher. He's not going to try and overpower you on the mound. He's going to try and get you to put the ball in play, does not get you to put the ball in play terribly well.
That's low there for Zach Sperger. It's 1-1. He flew out his last time up. That went towards center field. I mentioned all of those outs got by the Elmira Pioneers outfield. 3 of those have been by way of Brett Baker. Pitch, that one low right now. It's 2-1 here. And 7 of the outs so far have been either pop out or fly out for Auburn.
And I think Nelson's just trying to take advantage of the aggressive approach that Auburn has, trying to get them to swing for the fences here, knowing that it's so difficult to try and get a barrel when you're facing a pitcher who's throwing consistently between 8 and 10 miles an hour slower than you're used to seeing from a lot of other teams in this league.
So now it's a 3-1 count here.
Good piece of hitting out there towards short.
That's grabbed by Tidwell. He throws over to first in time for the out there for the Pioneers. That'll be the 3rd out on the ground ball by Zach Sperger when we return top 5. Pioneers still need a hit when we get back. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living. AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Maid, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South. Here for the top of the fifth inning upcoming, as there's a new catcher here for the Auburn Doubledays. They exit out Jake Bentavanga. Corbin Lovejoy will be the one who takes this game further from behind the dish, as now coming up is going to be Trevor Reed.
Yeah, and I mean, right here, if you're Reed, mentioned it last inning with Tidwell, did not wind up being the case. You got to do anything you can, any means necessary to get on base here, throw off that rhythm of Muir, just try and get that first base knock. It seems like once you get that first one, everybody's kind of past that barrier a little bit of not being able to get hits. But for everybody right now, it starts with Trevor Reed.
Pitch comes in there. That'll go for a strike. Muir, so far, that's pitch number 70 on the ball game. Once again, 130 his last time he pitched against the Pioneers through 5 innings. That one goes high. It's going to be a 1-1 count here.
And in the 70s for pitches, but that velocity has not dipped down whatsoever. Still sitting in the mid-80s on his fastball up to this point.
That one swung on there for a strike. The home plate umpire is the one that points for a strike. So it's going to be a 1-2 count here. Throw, that one goes behind Reed. Reed does a good job pulling the bat down. He had a situation earlier in the season where he didn't pull that bat down and then hit off the wood for a foul ball. So good job there. 2-2 coming in. Kick deal for Muir. That one swung on a miss there for strike 3. So first man goes down on strikes. That's the 4th strikeout of the ball game here by Muir.
Yeah, he just goes off-speed away. Nothing Reed can do to get to that pitch. Really well located from Muir as well. And that's just a fantastic at-bat to get out number 1 in the inning.
And Ryan Jones now steps up, a member who did strike down his last time up. He watched strike 3 go past him. Updated Olean. Bottom of the 7th incoming. Olean leads 4-1 over Niagara Falls. First pitch swung on a miss for strike 1.
Yeah, it seems more and more like the Pioneers are going to have to try and find a way to win this baseball game if they want to find themselves in the playoffs.
Winner of the 4th seed goes to Batavia tomorrow to take on the reigning West Division champions, the Batavia Muck Dogs, for the game. There, a 1v4, while these Auburn Doubledays, and as that one swung on there by Jones, heads over to left field, but will fall down there. So as I was saying, these Auburn Doubledays and the Jamestown Tarpskunks will take on each other tomorrow in Jamestown. Have to see how that one ends up factoring in as Jones flies out, and up to bat now comes Manny Esley. He has 1 plate appearance so far today where he ended up walking, and so now we'll come up to go here. On deck is Thomas Cheplick to be the top of the order. That one, little sidearm release there, goes for a ball. It's 1-0.
Yeah, you mentioned the walk that Esley drew last at bat, and that's just a testament to how difficult he can be to pitch to at the plate.
Pitch, that one goes for a ball. So it's going to be a 2-0, just a touch outside. Here, Esley set. Muir throws that one. Outside corner strike, and right now the infield doesn't have much of a shift on. They're going with 2 down, 2 up. middle infield playing back. The throw, that one's high. It's going to be a 3-1 count.
Yeah, no need to run a shift with nobody on, and your pitcher hasn't surrendered a base runner since, I believe, the second inning.
That was back in the third. Direction there with a couple walks. That one goes down low. It's going to be ball 4. Astley gets on for a second time today via walk. He did so back in the third. Now coming up is Thomas Chaplek, who so far today is 0 for 1. He had a walk, but also grounded into a double play. Tries to see if he can limit that one here. He represents as the one in the batting order. Pitch, that one high, ball 1.
Yeah, and Esley reaches with a walk. It's not the base hit, but it's at least a base runner. The Pioneers are going to need to get base runners. String together a lot of them as well if they want to be able to score here. Getting one on just isn't enough.
Have to wonder if they go aggressive with Esley. He's already jumping, and all of a sudden he's going to be in a pickle. He turns right around. The throw from Smith. That goes over to the second baseman there in Gonzalez. Excuse me, that went to Rumpf. Rumpf was cutting off. Esley runs out of the base path. That'll be out number 3. Jumped just a touch too early. I was about to ask if they go aggressive. They do so there, but it will be the third out. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. Auburn leads 2-0. Bottom 5, Pioneers trail this one 2-0 against the Auburn Doubledays. As coming up is going to be the next batter for the Doubledays here. It's going to be Bert Maxim stamping up to bat right now. The birthday boy comes on in. They gave a shout out to his birthday here in the stadium earlier. He's 0 for 1 in the ballgame. He flew out towards right field before. First pitch, that one hit on the ground there. It's going to go into the outfield. So on his birthday, he's got himself a single, leadoff single at that. It's a man on for Auburn, and that there is their 4th hit of the ballgame.
Yeah, Maxim came in ready to swing. First pitch of the inning from Nelson, and he just sends that one in between the third baseman and the shortstop. Good piece of hitting there from Maxim, and the leadoff man on here for the Doubledays.
And now coming up is Connor Rumpf, who had the tag of Esley last time in the top half of the inning. Now with a man on, looking to try and get some action here. 1 plate appearance, 1 walk, and a steal. That one goes there for his called strike. There. Have to see what Maxim will end up doing there at first base. If they try to have him steal or not with no outs. The pitch, that one swung on there, foul. Now it's 0-2 coming in here for Rumpf. As Rumpf looks to try and get things going here. Esley would be responsible for the cover. Throw over on the pickoff attempt, no good.
I don't mind that look at all from Nelson as well. It looked like he was just trying to catch Maxim leaning a little bit, and Maxim did a good job to react, but not a bad move.
Pitch number 72 for Nelson here. That one's fouled away. It'll remain 0-2 for the right-handed batter here in Connor Rumpf.
And I fully expect this pitch to be very low in the zone here, going for either the swing and miss or the ground ball.
Pickoff attempt again, going back over to first base. Nelson quick to throw over there. Maxim gets back in time, though. Dubeck not able to make the tag. The throw from Nelson, that one swung on there towards center field. Baker goes down and grabs it. There's a man that's running over towards first, but no throw comes in there. A large move there by Maxim. He thought that was going to drop so he could turn it, but had to run back to first. One down now.
Yeah, I mean, again, to sing the praises of Rhett Baker out in center field, that's a well-hit ball coming off the bat right there. That's not an easy play to make out in center field as well. You have to be coming in on that one while keeping a good beat on it, and also keeping in mind that there is a runner on base. So Baker does a great job to make the catch there, and that's a huge first out.
Brendan Smith now up to bat for the Doubledays. First pitch, that one low, ball one. So it's a 1-0 count now incoming. Olean and Niagara Falls have moved to the top of the 8th inning now. Elmira wins, they get into the playoffs. Olean wins and Elmira loss. Olean will be in the ballgame. Throw down towards second base. It's going to go past the glove there of Manny Esley. So it goes down there. It's a stolen bag for Burt Maxim. On that one, just the hop gets over Esley's glove.
Yeah, and those throws that bounce right there can be difficult to try and put a tag down because you're trying to catch the ball and put a tag down as fast as you can. So if the ball winds up bouncing like it does there on Esley, you can kind of miss the ball, which is exactly what happens because you're trying to get that tag down as fast as possible.
It's also a factor of we just had a couple games at Dunfield, expecting it to play like Dunfield, where sometimes you get a little bit wonky of a bounce. That one there goes for a strike on the swing. It'll be a 1-1, but perfect bounces here on turf.
Yeah, I was going to say no wacky bounces here in Auburn.
So 1-1, we cross the hour mark of this game. We're about an hour and 14 in. The pitch, that one's high, swing, strike. Pretty quick game so far between these two sides.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever heard hour 14 and 5th inning in the same sentence this year.
Well, Dunfield always has that vibe to it to where a lot of games go a little bit further because the fans are having so much fun. They're getting into it. That allows the teams to get into it and continue the swings going. That one is going to be strike 3 called. That's going to be the first punch out of the day by Zach Nelson. Comes in there, and now it's 2 down.
Yeah, fantastic pitch. He goes to what looks like a slider on the outer part of the zone. Looks like Smith not expecting that whatsoever. Nelson does a good job to freeze him, gets a huge second out.
And so now up is going to be Corbin Lovejoy, who replaced a catcher. It's a runner there, but that one swung. It's a swing and run as that one goes into the right field, and Gingrich will make the grab for the out. We had to break here. Before the 6th inning, the Pioneers do not have a hit in this ball game. It's 2-0 in favor of Auburn when we return. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom's South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. Top 6 now as Coach Drum runs over towards third base there as the third base coach. He's a third base coach alongside Coach Burkhan for this one. Is coming up now is going to be Thomas Cheplick. Once again, last inning it was him up to bat, and then Manny Esley got caught trying to steal. Pitch, that one's high. It's going to be a 1-0 count for the left-handed batter.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that Esley was just counting however long he came set for and tried to take off accordingly. However, just an instance there where Muir held the ball a little too long on him. He breaks for second base before the pitch is thrown, and he's just dead to rights on the base paths.
2-0 now coming here for Cheplick. Pioneers, no hit so far through 5 innings. That one swung foul. There, it'll go 2-1. Still has his speed on these pitches with that fastball in the mid-80s, as you mentioned earlier, Evan, and he continues to work on right now. Kick, deal, that one swung on, foul. So it will be a 2-2 count now incoming here for Thomas Cheplick in this leadoff spot. 0 for 1 on the day. He does have a walk. Trying to see if he can get on. The pitch, that one's hit on the ground there. It's going right up. It's going to be attacked by Rumpf. He steps. He throws over to first in time for the first out.
Yeah, big first out right there. And again, another instance where Muir records the first out on the first batter of the inning. It's so much easier to operate when you have an out under your belt because it means that you're always a ground ball away from getting out of the inning if there's a runner on base.
So Muir now has gone more innings than he did in his last appearance against the Elmira Pioneers. This is a mound visit happening right now between Coach Eaton and his arm. Have to see what's happening here, if it is just a discussion about how much further they'll have him go. Once again, Auburn, they have no movement in terms of the standings for the rest of the season. Of course, that being one game here today. They are locked in at the 3 spot. They're heading to Jamestown tomorrow to take on the Tarp Skunks, who have kind of spiraled down a little bit these past couple weeks as Castro steps in here. First pitch to him, he fouls that one off. There, it'll go 0-1. And so it could be a chance for Auburn to go into Jamestown, upset, then go play either Batavia or Elmira / Olean, depending on who gets this 4th seed. Pitch, that one fouled off there. It's going to be 0-2 now to Manny Castro.
Again, just so many playoff implications, so much relying on the shoulders of what does wind up happening today. And you really can't say anything's going to wind up happening because of just how unpredictable playoff baseball can be.
That's hit hard on the ground there. In the outfield grass there is going to be Rumpf for outfield turf as that one's thrown over to first in time. Good throw by Rumpf. 2 down now.
Yeah, again, not an easy play to make at all. That one was a scorcher off the bat of Castro. And Rumpf does a good job to drop back on it, make a play, and make a solid throw over to first base. Not the easiest thing to do, but definitely good for the second out of the inning.
That's the 3rd time that Rumpf has thrown over to first base to get an out today. That one outside. Ball 1. Here for Brett Baker. Walked his first time up, grounded out his last time. That went towards the second baseman. That's it on the ground. Rumpf's going to make his play again. Can he get a 3rd out of the inning? Throw to first. In is in time. 3 down for the Pioneers, all of which go by way of 6-3. And now the Auburn Doubledays will come back up to bat with a 2-run lead. Pioneers go down once again after 3 batters when we return, trying to hold off defensively. Bottom 6 now. Pioneers return as Zach Nelson stays on the mound here for the Elmira Pioneers. Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. This is the final regular season game of the year. As I've mentioned time and time again, Pioneers trail by 2 right now. They are getting no hit, but they don't have a chance to change that right now. They're looking to just hold this lead to 2 by Auburn. That pitch goes inside of Steven Ambrosio. It's going to be a 1-0 count.
Yeah, and I mean, Zach Nelson on the other side as well, certainly doing what he can to keep the Pioneers in this one. He has given up 2 runs. However, both of them came back in the first inning. Ever since then, he's just done everything he can to keep the slate clean. And still just a 2-0 ball game, but like you mentioned, you're being no hit. There's not much you can do.
All right, it's going to have a 2-0 count coming in here. The throw, that one swung hard, high, towards foul territory, running over there, and it's going to go too far into the bullpen for the Doubledays. So now it's going to be a 2-1 here.
Yeah, not a bad effort there from anybody on the Pioneers. A lot of times on those ones, if it does stay in play, maybe there's a bit of a communication issue, so that ball does wind up getting out of play. However, not a bad pitch at all from Nelson. You get strike 1.
So it'll be a 2-1 count now here for Zach Nelson as we get close to the late innings of this ball game. The throw, that one ripped right into the glove of Manny Castro. Right place, right time for Castro. Gets the first out.
Yeah, I mean, staying ready down there at third base. That was a scorcher off the bat. Castro just beautifully situated, makes the play for the first out of the inning.
So it's 1 down here. Zach Nelson has thrown 82 pitches so far in this ball game, 47 of which have gone for strikes. Monahan steps up now on this one. That one goes there for a ball. It's going to be 1-0. So 1-0 count now incoming here for Denny Monahan, who both of his home runs this season have come at home. That one's hit on the ground there. Attacked by Castro. He takes his 2 steps. He throws over to first. Is it in time? It is for the second out.
Yeah, we saw in the top of the inning, Connor Rumpf made all 3 plays at shortstop here. We are just 1 play away from Manny Castro retiring the full side in order just on his own.
As now it's going to be a new hitter here for the Doubledays. It's Michael Ambrosio stepping in replacement of Ethan Smith. So a lot of substitutions so far by the team, as there are 2 down now. Nelson deals that one, floats on in there for a strike. So it's an 0-1 count now incoming. Ambrosio, of course, the brother of Steven, who's the leadoff guy. As out in Olean right now, it is 5-1. Man on first base for them. Denny Martin scored on a wild pitch as that one's heading over towards foul territory. Brandon Duback gets underneath it, and that's going to be the third out. 3 up, 3 down here for the Auburn Doubledays. We head to a quick commercial break. When we return, it's the late innings beginning their form in the 7th. Pioneers looking to try and not get no hit in this contest. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. Top of the 7th, it's a new arm on the mound for the Auburn Doubledays. It is Ryan Rocco, who the Pioneers have seen numerous times this season and has been able to get the better of them. Right now, looking to try and hold on to this 2-0 lead with a no-hitter going. Zach Muir ends up throwing the 6 shutout innings, no hits. He had 4 walks in the ball game, 5 walks in the ball game, ended up getting 4 strikeouts. So an impressive stat line for him in his quality start.
Yeah, I mean, just anytime you can hold your opposing team hitless, you feel good about what you had going on the mound. You leave your team in a 2-run lead knowing that you surrendered no runs, knowing that you didn't even surrender a base hit. You did just about everything you could on the mound. Now you hand it over the bullpen, hope they have enough to continue it.
Now coming up is going to be Jalen Tidwell. So far in the ballgame, the Pioneers have gone down in order 3 times so far in terms of 1, 2, 3 innings. If you want to say in order of how they come up, 4 times when Manny Estley got caught stealing. So now Tidwell gets ready for his first pitch, looking at Ryan Rocco. 0 for 2 in the ballgame, 2 strikeouts. The pitch, that one, going to bounce down there in the turf. For ball, or correction, they call it a swing there. It was fouled for strike 1.
I think that might have hit off the knob of the bat of Tidwell. It didn't look like there was really a swing effort, and I don't think that caught any of the upper part of the lumbar, so not too sure where that was a strike. I'm imagining that hit somewhere off the hands, though.
So 0-1, the pitch, that one, swung on a miss there for strike 2. 0-2 count once again, coming here to Jalen Tidwell. Is ready to go now. He steps back into the box. Set now here. Rocco kicks, steals that one. Swung on a miss there for strike 3. Tidwell goes down for the 3rd time today on strikes. That's the first out here in the 7th. One down is now coming up is going to be Brandon Duback.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of Ryan Rocco here in Auburn, New York, and it seems like every time he finds himself on the mound, the Pioneers just can't quite keep up with the deceptiveness of his release. So going to be something to monitor for the remainder of this game as the Pioneers need offense if they want to make the playoffs.
They need to score 2 runs to at least tie it up, 3 to take the lead right now for the team. If the Pioneers cannot get the win in this one, a win by Olean puts Olean into the playoffs. Pioneers trying to hold that one off. That one goes for a strike. Would have to do more math if this one did end up being a tie in terms of who gets in. You would expect then it goes to Olean due to, of course, the ties there, but we'll have to see there once I get my calculator out. 1-1, the pitch, that one goes there for a strike. As you folks know, when calculating win percentage, ties go as half a win. That's part of the reason why Niagara was eliminated the other day, because of those 2 ties that they have. The pitch, that one inside too high, ball 2. 2-2 count.
And Duback just going to do anything he can to stay alive here at the plate, just try and get himself on base. Obviously, he's aware of the magnitude of the situation.
That one swung on there, and that's going to drop on in for the first hit of the ball game. Heads over towards the right side, towards the foul line. The throw comes in there, but Brandon Duback breaks up the no-hitter, and he's got himself a double.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like it was only a matter of time once Muir got pulled, and the second batter that the bullpen sees, a beautiful piece of hitting into the opposite field for Brandon Duback, has his 2-strike approach down perfectly, and just like that, the Pioneers are the runner in scoring position.
Now coming up, Tyson Gingrich. If he can get on, he'd represent the tying run for the team. Brandon Duback over at second base, following that double. Trying to see if he can get something to go here. Tyson Gingrich, a fair number of doubles so far this season. One here would end up scoring Duback. The throw, that one outside, ball 1 here for Gingrich. As he gets ready to go. I mentioned those doubles so far this season by Gingrich. He has 5 on the year alongside 2 triples for him.
Yeah, he's got that beautiful power-speed combo. It feels like every time he puts a ball in play, it has a chance to get into the gap, and anytime a ball has a chance to get into the gap, he can just try and fly around the bases, get as many as he can.
2-0 count now incoming here for Gingrich. See, steps back into the left-handed batter's box. Look back towards Dumac. The throw, that one, in there for a strike. It's going to be a 2-1 count now coming in. That's the first strike of the at-bat. 1 down here following Jalen Tidwell's strikeout. Brandon Dumac double gives them their first hit of the ball game. Rocco throws, that one, swung on, missed there for strike there. It's going to be a 2-2.
And Rocco can't quite throw as hard as Mira was throwing, but that doesn't mean that he's still not getting any velocity behind these pitches. That fastball came in at 82 miles an hour right there. Gingrich just wasn't able to catch up.
The throw, that one, swung, foul. Late on that one there is Gingrich. It'll remain a 2-2 count here. Now only in, bases completely juiced, 2 down, 5-1 the score in the bottom of the 8th in favor of Olean. Rocco looks back towards second base. The throw, that one's hit on the ground. Dubac's going to run. Rump's going to have to try and attack that. The throw is not going to be played there. It falls out of the glove of him. That'll be a hit ruled there. A single for Tyson Gingrich. So that is the second hit of the ball game for the Pioneers back-to-back. And even if he made that throw, Rumpf, I don't know if he would have beaten Gingrich out.
Yeah, that's why I agree with the hit being the right call on that play. Gingrich just kind of gets jammed a little bit, beats it out to shortstop, not very hard. And, again, you mentioned it, he's got fantastic speed. He's just able to leg that one out. And as you mentioned, a perfect throw would have been a bang-bang play.
As now up to bat is Trevor Reed, 2 men on. That one runs up high. Reed ducks out of the way on the 81-mile-per-hour pitch. It's going to be a 1-0. 1 down here. Opportunity to turn a double play if one's hit on the ground. Have to wonder if you see Gingrich start to run. The throw, that one swung. It's going to be popped up in the air. Reed does not like that one. It'll be caught there for an out. Underneath that one there was Rump. He gets the out, makes up for that last play. So now it's 2 down with 2 men on.
Yeah, and Trevor Reed's going to want that one back right there. You're looking to hit a fly ball in that situation. Is that you get it deep enough and it would be a sacrifice fly. However, got 2 underneath that one, pops it up on the infield. And now Jones is going to have to get a base hit to get that run across.
Any sort of contact here, and these men on base are going to start running, trying to get the first run of the ball game for the Pioneers. It's the top of the 7th inning here from Auburn, New York at Falcon Park. Pitch, that one goes in there for a strike. It's going to be an 0-1 count.
Strong first pitch right there. Huge situation to get strike 1 here from Rocco, so a good job to get it here. Now he's in the driver's seat of the at-bat here with 2 outs.
Rocco delivers that one. Goes in there, but too high. It's going to be a 1-1.
Good leave there from Jones. We saw that pitch a lot from Nelson so far in this game, trying to get that off-speed pitch at the top half of the plate. So umpire already done a good job establishing what is and isn't a strike there, and Jones does a good job to lay off.
As now gets sent is Rocco. The throw, that one outside. It's going to be a 2-1 count now incoming here. Out Olean. Olean scored 1 run there. It's 6-1 in favor of the Oilers. In the top of the 9th inning, Niagara Falls down to the last 3 outs. Throw, that one falls, but it's too high. It's going to be a 3-1 count now incoming.
So Jones going to have to stay patient at the plate here. Look for his pitch. If you want it, just try and get it. If not, take it. Either take your base or get into the full count.
Set, kick, throw. That one swung on there. Popped up, heads over towards foul territory. Underneath that one is going to be Brendan Smith. And the ball falls out of his glove. Absolute lucky play there coming for the Pioneers to hold off the 3rd out. There, very close.
Yeah, a gift right there coming out of the glove of Brendan Smith. Keeps the inning alive for the Pioneers. I mean, I think you see that play 100 times, and that catch is made 99 times, no matter who's standing there. Just a very unfortunate mistake for Brendan Smith.
Just a 1 in 100 kind of play. And it's 3-2 the pitch. That one swung on a miss there for strike 3. Did not matter. He gets the third out. No one's scoring. We head to the bottom half of the 7th. We'll stretch our legs in between the innings. But when we return, it's 2-0 in favor of Auburn. Bottom 7 happening now. Pioneers trail 2-0 against Auburn. We thank all of those who are beginning to join us from the Niagara Falls Americans Olean Oilers game. As out in that one, it is still the 9th inning. However, it's a 6-2 lead now in favor of Olean with 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. So Niagara Falls is down to their last out as they just hit a fly out towards right field. So down to the last down, Olean trying to get the win, get into the PGCBL playoffs for the first time their entire history in the PGCBL, which has been in their first year. So first pitch goes outside there to Justin Matz. It's going to be a 1-0. Zach Nelson remains on this mound. Pitch, that one low. It's 2-0.
Yeah, and I mean, the Pioneers' offense has been nearly non-existent up to this point, only sent 2 men into scoring position up to this point. But Zach Nelson on the mound in this game has been nothing short of incredible, trying to keep this game within the striking distance for the Pioneers.
Yep. And that one there was pitch number 90. It goes for a strike. It's a 2-1 count. Nelson gets back towards set, trying to get through 7 innings of work. The pitch, that one inside for a ball. It is now going to be a 3-1 count incoming now for Justin Matz, who had a double play ball turned and a ground out so far. So 0 for 2 in the ball game. The pitch, that one swung foul.
Yeah, and I was going to say Nelson had to be careful on that pitch. You don't want to issue the leadoff walk, but you certainly don't want to issue anything more than that, with Justin Matz more than capable of sending the ball a long way at the plate. Does a good job to just get a pitch to get a foul ball and work the count full.
So full count incoming now. Nelson delivers. That one's hit on the ground. It's going to be attacked by Tidwell. He steps, he throws. Duback with the grab over there for the first out. So 1 down now here in the bottom half of the 7th. Score update in Olean, 6-3 now. A big double by Michael Sabella gets another run on the board. As now coming up is going to be Nacho Gonzalez, an RBI single, started his day off. He flew out his last time up. So now he gets ready to go. First pitch to him, that one's going to be low from Nelson. It'll go 1-0.
Yeah, it seems like as this game has gotten into the later part of the innings here, especially as Nelson's gotten deeper into this game, he has done a good job of maintaining the ability to record outs, but it feels like on the first pitch he's definitely been a little bit looser on trying to get strike one than he should be given the situation.
That one goes high. It's going to be 2-0 incoming now here for Nacho Gonzalez. The bullpen right now for the Pioneers cold as Nelson's approaches closer and closer to 100 pitches in this outing. That one's fouled back. It's going to be a 2-1. Nelson did pitch on Friday where he threw 47 pitches in 4 innings. As now it's going to be a 2-1 count incoming here for Gonzalez. One down, bottom of the 7th. The throw, that one swung on there, heads over towards left field where Trevor Reed is going to get underneath that, flash the leather, and get the out. So it's going to be 2 down now here. And as coming up is going to be the next batter, and Zach Spurger. So if you want a little note here, Nacho Gonzalez and Justin Batts gone out by 6-3 and F7. The last time those two got out, 6-3 F7. So maybe we'll see here, Zach Spurger, he grounded towards shortstop last time. That happens again. It'll be deja vu of back in the 4th inning. That one goes for a ball. It's going to be 1-0.
Yeah, baseball has a funny way of being able to repeat itself like that and just have strangely unpredictable patterns that can every now and then just wind up surfacing during a game.
So game out in Olean final, 6-3 in favor of Olean. That one hits Spurger, so it will not repeat what happened before. So we thank all of those who are coming from that game to catch on to this one. The Olean Oilers hope for an Elmira Pioneers loss. For the Pioneers, it's a win and in. If they do not win, they will be eliminated from the playoff situation. Olean gets in for the first time in their first season in the PGCBL. So Spurger goes on over to first, and now coming up is going to be Bert Maxim, who had a single his last time up and stole a base.
Yeah, the Pioneers just going to have to try and find every way they can to win this baseball game right now. Whenever you're not scoring, it's obviously so difficult to win games. However, Zach Nelson's done an incredible job of keeping the Pioneers in this one. And if he can get through the 7th inning without allowing any more damage, you have to hope the bats get up ready to swing, ready to back up their pitcher.
Pitch 101 goes in there for a strike. So pitch 100 and pitch 101 go for strikes. It's going to be an 0-2 count coming in now here for Maxim. Over 100 pitches. Now someone moves over to the bullpen for the Pioneers. The throw, that one is swung. It's going to just be popped up, head over towards shallow center field, where Brett Baker moves over to his left and makes the grab for the out. We head to a break. Top of the 8th incoming. It's 2-0 in favor of Auburn. The Pioneers need runs. They have just 6 outs to work with to try and tie this up, if not take the lead, when we return. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. The return here for the top of the 8th inning incoming now. Manny Esley gets ready to go for the Pioneers. Ryan Rocco remains on the mound. Pioneers have just a couple more outs, 6 more outs to work with to try and score 2 runs in this ball game. Olean currently has the lead, won their game. They now lead in terms of the 4th place. As first pitch comes in, Esley shows bunt. That one's popped up in the air. It goes foul on this one, so it'll be an 0-1 count coming in now here with Esley.
I mean, no surprise to see him try and bunt his way on here. It seems like he's been trying to do that so many times in so many different situations. There's really no situation that I would say there's a definitive he's not bunting in any given point during a game.
A lot of speed, but also he uses it to deceive the pitcher, as you mentioned. That one goes there for a strike. It's going to be an 0-2. Ryan Rocco continues for this one. 72 mile per hour on that breaking ball here. 9 hitter on deck is going to be Cheplik. That one is swung foul there. It remains 0-2.
Yeah, good job to stay alive there for Esley. He obviously can make pitchers throw a lot of pitches, so he might be down 0-2 here, but we could still be a long ways away from the end of this at-bat.
He's walked twice so far today. Rocco set, kicks, deals. That one swung, heads over. Esley's going to run. Underneath it is going to be the second baseman there in Gonzalez for the out. So 1 down now here in the top of the 8th inning. The Pioneers have come back before. And would it be fitting if they're able to do it against Auburn to eliminate Olean? Because one of the biggest comeback wins so far this season by the Pioneers was against the Olean Oilers that helped them get that sweep over the team and give them the head-to-head tiebreaker. That one outside corner strike against Cheplik.
I mean, it'd be pretty poetic if that's how it wound up being, but really can't talk about the Pioneers winning until they get base runners, until they're able to make something happen. It feels like this game has had so much promise for them. However, every opportunity they've had, they've squandered up to this point.
Down 1-1. So far in this game, just 2 hits for the Pioneers. Both hits came in the last inning. They were no hit through 6. Pinch, that one runs inside. It's going to be a 2-1. Winning in sort of situation. Cheplik up for the 4th time today for this one. Set. Here is Rocco on the 2-1. The throw. That one. Outside corner strike. Ryan Rocco, despite those 2 hits that he's allowed, has looked absolutely incredible so far.
Yeah, not to mention he has a fantastic feel for the outside corner so far in this inning.
2-2 the pitch. That one high. Full count coming here for Cheplik. And this is the first time that Rocco has seen Cheplik, so of course having to adjust his zone with Cheplik up to bat here. The left-handed batter. Set. Full count, the payoff pitch. That one swung on foul. Will hit off the top of the roof and land back into the dugout of the Doubledays. Remains full.
Just a good job to stay alive there by Cheplik. See another pitch, try and get something you can either take advantage of or get ball for, but for right now, just going to do what he can to fight at the plate.
As set, kicks, deals. That one swung on there, heads over towards shallow left field. It will drop on in. Trying to dive for that one was Connor Rumpf, as that's going to be a hit coming in for Tommy Cheplik. His first hit of the ball game. It's a single coming in there.
Yeah, I mean, right there, Cheplik just sends that one out towards no man's land. Rumpf, give him an A for effort. If he was able to make the play there, we'd be seeing him on SportsCenter tomorrow morning, but unfortunately not able to make the play, and the Pioneers have a much-needed base runner here in the 8th.
So it's going to be a man on first. 1 down right now as Manny Castro comes up. had a home run earlier this season. That one is fouled off. That was against the Niagara Falls Americans at home at Dunfield. Have to see if we can try and piece something again here. As Cheplick comes on, down by 2, 1 man on. Pitch, that one fouled. It's going to be an 0-2 now. Very aggressive through these first 2 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, trying to do anything he can here to just put a ball with some serious power behind it into play here. Just try and get the base runners moving, but up to this point, it's been nothing but fouls.
0-2 here. Rocco looks down towards his catcher there in Lovejoy. The pitch, that one is going to hit Castro on the back. He mimics the celebration that Tidwell does when he gets hit by the pitch by putting the crown on, and now it's 2 men on. Second and first, Cheplick and Castro as Brett Baker comes up.
And I think for the Pioneers, if there was ever a hitter that you would want at the plate in this situation, Brett Baker has to be the one that you would be wanting right here. A huge at-bat right here for a huge player at the plate.
0-2 so far today. He does have a walk in the ballgame. Pitch, that one goes for a called strike. Tying run represented over at first base there in Manny Castro. But the Pioneers, the closest they've gotten to score has been Brandon Duback over at third in the last inning, not able to bring him home. Kick, deal, that one too high, 1-1.
Not a bad pitch there from Rocco, trying to spot the outer corner again. He's hit it so many times in this inning, just leaves that one a little bit too upstairs, and a good job by Baker to lay off.
1-1 count as we get close to 2 hours in this ball game. Yeah, that one's going to go towards center field. It's going to drop on in. Cheplick moved back over to third in case it was caught, and now the bases are loaded. A single coming in for Brett Baker with Jalen Tidwell now coming up to the plate.
Yeah, Baker, a great piece of hitting right there. Just sends that one into center field, gets it to drop down for the base hit. Huge play there. Now we're going to have a pitching change for the Doubledays.
And it looks like that'll be the day coming in here for Ryan Rocco. A new arm will come out as the tying runs and the leading run are on base for the Pioneers with Jalen Tidwell coming up next. When we return, it's the new arm here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. William Ragland III comes up to pitch for the Auburn Doubledays as the bases are currently completely loaded for the Pioneers. On a third, it's Thomas Cheplick. Second base has Manny Castro. Cheplick got on via a single. Castro got in by hit by pitch, and then Brett Baker's over at first via a single. Chaplik single, of course, being one of those ones hit into no man's land. Brett Baker had a shallow hit towards center field. Now Tidwell looking to get something going here. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game with 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, and I mean, he's going to have to try and change the approach here. Just go for anything that just gets the ball into the outfield here.
First pitch, that one outside, ball 1. Just one down here. Pioneers need to win this ball game to make it into the playoffs. It's win or go home right now for them. The pitch, that one, fouled. It'll go 1-1.
Yeah, and I mean, Tidwell on that fastball from Ragland. That one came in at 81 miles an hour, and while he wasn't able to put it into fair territory, still put a good swing onto that one. If he gets another fastball, expect him to be ready for it.
Against set, kick, deal, that one. Outside corner strike. Tidwell did not like the call on that one. He thought it was outside. It'll be a 1-2 count.
And I mean, that pitch has been there all day for the most part. Just a really great job by these Doubledays pitchers to figure that out.
The throw, that one, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Jalen Tidwell has gone down on strikes 4 times today. And now coming up is going to be Brandon Duback with 2 down and bases loaded.
Yeah, another fantastic situational hitter coming up to the plate here for the Pios. Difficult day at the plate for Tidwell, but Duback with a chance to cash in here.
Pioneers have left 5 on base so far in this ball game, not trying to make it 8. First pitch coming here to Duback. That one goes for a strike. He had the first hit of the ball game. That was a double. As now it's an 0-1 count. If he could get another double, most likely Baker with his speed would be able to come home. That one swung on foul there. It's going to be an 0-2.
Yeah, and Duback going to have to try and work hard to find himself succeeding in this at-bat here. Down 0-2 already here. Such a huge situation here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Got to do anything to stay alive.
3 on, 2 out, 2 strikes. That one's inside. Ball 1. Came close to hitting Duback. Had to move out of the way of that one. Potentially hear some of the players from the dugout say, "Where that?" But had to move. 1-2, the pitch. That one swung on and missed. Strike 3. He said that he foul tipped, and it got on the ground. That's the discussion happening right now. Nothing being called, and that is out number 3. So down go the Pioneers with the bases loaded. That is another one on, as Coach Barber will now discuss, and they're going to talk with the field umpire.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make the argument that that pitch wound up, I think they're going to say hit the ground in between being hit and being into the catcher's mitt. It looked like Duback was pointing at the ground as if to say that wound up hitting the ground after he made contact with it, but gonna have to see what the call is.
As Coach Barber and Coach Drum having discussions about that, and it's the field umpire and the home plate umpire. This is going to be a crucial call in terms of how it goes. They say foul. So now the Auburn Doubledays have to come back out to the field, walking all the way over, and Coach Eaton's going to have a discussion. Foul tip, it must have hit the ground. If it's foul tipped and hits the ground, that means that it is going to be a foul ball. No strike 3 called. If it went into the mitt, then it would be strike 3. It will remain a 1-2 count, 2 outs, as the field has to come back out. Its base is still loaded for Brandon Duback.
Yeah, and unfortunately we have about the worst vantage point imaginable when trying to figure out if the ball hit the ground or not. The fans here in Auburn certainly don't seem to be agreeing with the call. However, Brandon Duback going to have some more life here at the plate.
Coach Eaton also not happy with that call. As he was walking out, could see him say a couple words that we are not allowed to say here on the broadcast, as they have to wait. The catcher has to put his gear back on here in Lovejoy, because he was about to come up shortly in the order. He was due up. So now they have to take a second before getting him going, as now he comes back on in.
I mean, it'll be a 1-2 count with 2 outs, and I mean, not often do you have to wait this long in between pitches. It seems like you only have to wait this long in between pitches if there's a pitching change mid-at-bat. However, bit of an argument there. Duback winds up winning with his case here, and again, he finds himself alive at the plate here. Going to have to try and cash in.
Correction, 2-2 counting coming now. The throw, that one, high, 3-2.
That one definitely missing upstairs. It feels like, again, going back to Nelson, that upper part of the zone was established pretty early in that one, and that one missing upstairs.
A full count, bases loaded. One pitch outside and a run scores. A pitch in the zone, and they are able to send him home. The runner's going. The throw, that one swung on the ground, foul. So it will remain a full count here. Expect the second this pitch gets thrown, all three runners, Cheplik, Castro, Baker, to start running to get on home. Following what was a foul ball that hit off the ground into the mid. The run goes, the throw, that one fouled.
And Dubek just doing everything he can to stay alive here at the plate. Mentioned that he can just work an at bat, and up to this point, he's seen a lot of pitches so far in this one.
A must-win game for the Elmira Pioneers. If they win this one, they get into the playoffs. If Auburn wins this one, Olean makes it into the playoffs. A full count once again. 3 on. That one's outside. A run is going to score on ball 4 following the foul ball that was ruled there to not be strikeout. It's now going to be a 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, and I mean, that's where that big call winds up coming in even bigger right there. That now leads to a run scoring for the Pioneers. Inning not over yet as well with Gingrich up now. Bases still juiced.
Gingrich had a single his last time up in the ball game. Fans here not too pleased with that no strikeout call. The first throw goes in. That one's inside, ball 1. But it was a discussion between the home plate umpire and the field umpire. So you have 4 eyes looking at that, plus the batter, plus the catcher, meaning that you have that call go in there. It's a 1-0 count coming on. The throw, that one, goes for a called strike right down the belt line.
Yeah, I mean, about as middle as a pitch can get right there. Wasn't a 1-0 count, so Gingrich had the luxury to take that pitch, but now the count evened up.
2-1, bases loaded. The throw, that one, goes in there for a strike. 1-2, 2 outs. Trying to hold this 2-1 lead is William Ragland III. He kicks, he deals. That one swung on there, heads over towards right center field. It looks like it's going to drop, and it will do. 1 run's going to score. Manny Castro comes home. Brett Baker's going to come home. That's a double for Tyson Gingrich, and that gives the Pioneers the lead in the must-win situation.
Wow. Clutch swing there from Tyson Gingrich. 1-2 count, gets a fastball, sends it into the right center field gap. Just like that, the Pioneers take the lead here in the 8th inning. Unbelievable situational hitting. And again, you go back to the foul ball called on Dubek. That call looks even bigger now.
A double, a 2-run double for Tyson Gingrich. Does a great job at swinging in such a way that he doesn't pull it too hard. Hits it right in there. As now Trevor Reed comes up to bat. First pitch to him, that one's fouled back. And just like that, the momentum shifts. The Pioneers are now just getting the Auburn Doubledays out 6 times from making it to the West Division playoffs in the 4 seed and heading to Batavia tomorrow.
I mean, still a lot of baseball left to be played. You can't say anything's official yet, but the Pioneers doing what they can so far in this inning, and the inning's still not over yet.
Ragland deals that one in there for a strike. So it's going to be an 0-2 count now coming for Trevor Reed. We thank you all for joining us here on your Sunday. That one low, 1-2. That one below the knees there.
Yeah, good pitch there from Ragland. Just couldn't quite get the strike zone.
1-2, the pitch. That one swung on hard. No play being able to grab there by Spurger. 1 run's going to score. Gingrich is going to come home. Dubek and Gingrich score. The slide down there. RB 2-run single by Trevor Reed. And now the Pioneers are on top of the Doubledays 5-2.
I mean, you talk about turning a game upside down. It looked like we were going to be heading to the bottom of the 8th inning in a 0-2 contest. However, the Pioneers now putting 5 on the board ever since the Dubek call got overturned. Great situational hitting from the Pioneers. They now lead by 3.
And now Ryan Jones comes up. He's the 9th hitter of this inning for the Pioneers. Manny Astley, who's waiting on deck, started things all off. First pitch comes into Jones. That one will go for a ball.
Good take there from Jones on the outer part of the plate. He's been behind the dish all day. He's got a good feel for this umpire and his strike zone. Does a good job to lay off that first pitch.
So here goes, 1-0. The pitch, that one goes high, 2-0. So Ragland still trying to get this final out of the inning as Trevor Reed moving over at first base right now following his 2-run single. That one is thrown over, not in time. Trevor Reed stays on first. Ryan Jones gets back into the right-handed batter's box. As getting ready for the throw. 2-0. The pitch, that one swung on a miss there by Jones. It'll go 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, gets a fastball there, tries to catch up to it a little bit behind on it. 82 miles an hour still coming out of the arm, coming out of the hand, rather, of William Ragland.
As now it is 2-1 count here. The pitch, that one goes on the outside corner, strike. It's going to be a 2-2 count. Pioneers came back against Olean earlier this season where they made up a deficit in the 8th and 9th inning to come back and win the ball game. Now trying to have their comeback stay to knock Olean out of the playoff potential. The throw, that one too high. Full count. Ryan Jones now steps back in. So far today, 0 for 3 on this one. It's his 4th plate appearance. Ragland, set, kicks, deals. That one swung on a miss there. No conversation about that one. It'll be strike 3. And now we head to the bottom of the 8th inning where the Pioneers turn this game on its head. They were down 0-2 to start. They now lead this one 5-2 when we return here at Falcon Park. We return here, bottom of the 8th inning, Pioneers and Auburn Doubledays. Entering into the 8th inning, the Pioneers were trailing 0-2. Now they lead 5-2. Zach Nelson comes back onto the mound as Connor Rumpf gets ready to go. The shortstop gets ready here as the Pioneers trying to make it back to the playoffs for the first time in 2 years here. Olean, they hope that the Doubledays are able to come back as they need a Doubledays win to get into the playoffs. That one goes for a ball up high, ball 1. Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird taking it on here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. We thank folks for joining us here. If you are watching from Olean or listening from Olean, we just got word that they are playing that in Olean, this broadcast here, as we get ready here. It's a 1-1 count coming in following a strike called there. The throw, that one swung on there, heads over towards center field. Brett Baker gets underneath that one and makes another catch for the first out.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Nelson still going on the mound. That's now 7 1/3 strong up to this point, and just getting so many fly balls today. Doing a great job pitching to contact, going to his strengths, getting the ball hit towards his outfielders, who they have so much trust in. He's done a great job doing that today.
And the pitch count right now, 105 for him. As coming up now is going to be Brennan Smith, who's 0 for 2 in the ball game, flew out to center field and struck out looking his last time up. The lone strikeout today, that one goes outside, ball 1. Lone strikeout for Zach Nelson. Pioneers trying to get the victory, enter into the 4 seed for the West Division playoffs, head to Batavia tomorrow. That pitch inside, 2-0. Auburn down to their last 5 outs to try and score 3. Pioneers, when they were down to their last 5 outs, able to score 5.
Yeah, I mean, a lot can change in the blink of an eye in the sport of baseball. This game been absolutely no exception.
That one popped up into the air, heads over towards right field. Tyson Gingrich going to move over to his right and make the catch for the second out. So 2 down now, following the fly out there of Brennan Smith. And coming up now is going to be Corbin Lovejoy.
Yeah, good play there by Gingrich. Has to keep on ranging towards the line with that ball, trailing towards the line. Does a good job to get to a spot, get underneath it, and record it for the second out.
Now coming up is going to be Corbin Lovejoy, who came in replacement of Jake Bentavanga. Flew out his last time up. That one went over towards right field for Tyson Gingrich. First pitch coming here from Nelson. That one is going to just fall right on into the inside corner, about midway up that side. But with a breaking ball, it gets it on in.
Yeah, that one at 63 miles an hour. When you're throwing that slow, you give the baseball so much opportunity to spin. Does a great job to find the in part of the zone there.
0-1, the pitch. That one falls in again. 0-2. The breaking ball right now of Zach Nelson has been lethal.
I mean, he outdoes himself, goes from 63 miles an hour to 62 miles an hour.
0-2 here for Lovejoy. The pitch, that one swung on the ground. It's going to be attacked by Manny Castro, the third baseman, who steps, throws over to first in time for the out, for the third out. We head over to the top half of the 9th inning, the final inning of the regular season play here in the West Division. Will the Pioneers hold on to this lead and make it to the playoffs, or will Olean make it in their first season in the PGCBL? We'll have to find out coming up right after this here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. The Elmira Pioneers are sponsored by AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Equipment, Ann's Pancakes, Centralis Health, Blaze Brockway, Bully Hill Vineyards, CAF USA, Casa Trinity Prevention, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung Supply, Coca-Cola, Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevrolet, Elmira Heat Treating, Chemung County Family Fitness Center, Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glove House, Guthrie, Hilliard Corporation, Honeybee Made, Jubilee Foods, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, McDonald's, Papa John's, Pathways, Pinecroft, Rodney J. Strange, ServPro, ServU Credit Union, Sheddens, Solutions Credit Union, Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Susan Minchin Dentistry, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning Collision, the United States Army, the United States Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wise Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, WETM, Wiggle 100, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. Thank you for sponsoring the Elmira Pioneers, and go Pios. Top of the 9th inning coming up now. The Pioneers came back in this ball game. They were down 0-2 in the top of the 8th inning and then scored 5 runs. They now trying to increase their lead here in the top half. This, as we've mentioned, through the entire ball game, a win or go home game for Elmira. They win, they head to Batavia tomorrow to take on the Muck Dogs, a team they have not beat this entire season, but with playoff chances alive, and Mikey Geisler looking ready to throw on the mound for the Pioneers. It's going to be interesting to see how that one ends up going. However, if Auburn is able to come back into this ball game and win it, Olean gets into the playoffs for the first time in their career in the PGCBL through their first season. Coming up now is Manny Esley. First pitch to him from Bert Maxim. The birthday boy goes outside, ball 1.
Yeah, and Esley's probably going to see a lot of pitches here. A new arm coming out of the bullpen, and he already has that ability to see a lot of pitches.
Next pitch comes in. That one swung up high. It's going to be a 1-1. 5-2 in favor of the Pioneers. A 6-4 difference in terms of hits in favor of Elmira. And that's coming a factor of they were getting no hit through 6 innings.
Yeah.
Next pitch, that one outside, 2-1.
It's been a tale of 2 teams in this game for the Pioneers offensively. You know, those first 6 innings, you know, you mentioned it seemed like they would be lucky to get a base hit. And then obviously the explosive 5-run 8th inning, just been 2 wildly different scenarios for them offensively today.
Next pitch to Esley, that one's high, it's 3-1. So Manny Esley looking to try and get on, potentially add another run on the board for the Pioneers as they head into playoff Monday. The next pitch, that one, outside corner, no good. Ball 4, Esley gets on via walk for the 3rd time today.
And it'll be interesting to see if they wind up using him aggressively on first base. Obviously, the last time he wound up reaching, he took off. However, that steal attempt was before the pitch was thrown, and he was picked off at first base. However, still a very big threat to run.
Now Thomas Cheplick steps up. He has a single in the ball game. That came on a blooper that just went into no man's land as that one goes up high. It's going to be 1-0 coming to him with Esley on first base. No down, none outs here in the top half of the 9th inning. As Maxim gets set now. Lovejoy square behind. The throw, that one goes there for a called strike. Esley does not run. It's going to be a 1-1. A leap up from Lovejoy to potentially throw down if need be. As Bert Maxim set. Kicks, deals. That one swung on there by Cheplick. It's heading towards foul territory. No, fall foul towards the left side of the foul line. It'll go now 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, Cheplick just gets jammed on that pitch. Tries to make something happen there. But realistically, he's pretty lucky that one winds up falling in foul territory, as I don't think that one was going to drift into no man's land.
Cheplick so far today, 1 for 3 with a walk as well. Esley over at first. The pitch, that one outside, goes past the glove there of Lovejoy. Esley's going to move towards second, turn towards third, but Lovejoy has the ball. So it'll be a man in scoring position for the Pioneers. Manny Esley over there at second with a 2-2 count. Coming now for Cheplick.
And if you're Thomas Cheplick, your mindset should be simple here. Pull a ball on the ground here. Do anything you can to get Esley over to third base.
2-2. The pitch. That one goes above the glove of Lovejoy. He was standing up for that one. Esley's going to slide into third. So Esley's on the last stop before home to try to give Pioneers a 4-run lead.
Yeah, and a runner on first with nobody out is one situation, but 2 pitches later, the man is standing on third base, just 90 feet away from making it a 4-run game, and Cheplick still at bat.
A full count here. No outs. The pitch. That one swung on there by Cheplick. The center fielder's running back for that one, but it's going to get over his head towards left center field. Cheplick's going to turn towards 2. Esley's going to come on home. Cheplick turns towards 3. The throw is going to come into the cutoff man. He throws over but holds on to it. Cheplick has himself a triple. An RBI triple for Thomas Cheplick, and now it is a 6-2 ball game in favor of the Pioneers.
I mean, that's a great job there to stay in the at-bat by Thomas Cheplick. Gets a pitch, he can handle it. Hits it into the opposite field, just gets it over the center fielder's head, turns on the wheels, gets into third base for the RBI triple.
So the Pioneers are now leading by 4 as Manny Castro steps up now for the team. He swings on first pitch, foul there. As Cheplick gave his shin guard over to Coach Drum, who now is wearing it at third base. No outs right now. Cheplick on third once again. He scored as the first one. A swinging bunt there by Castro. The throw goes over to first. It will be in time, but Cheplick ends up scoring. It is now going to be a 7-2 ball game on the sacrifice hit.
And that is a huge pair of insurance runs for the Pioneers. A 3-run lead is something that you can live with. However, you still have to be careful as you get into any bit of traffic and you more than likely bring the tying run to the plate. Now it's a 5-run game. You have a bigger cushion to play with in the bottom of the inning. Those are 2 huge runs.
So now coming up is Brett Baker. He had a single his last time up. That one goes inside. It's going to be a 1-0. No one has been warming up in the Pioneers bullpen, so potentially see Zach Nelson come out for a 9th inning as that one goes foul. He roped that one. It just missed it by maybe a couple inches. So it will be a 1-1 count.
Yeah, I saw some turf pellets kick up a little bit to the right of that right field line there. Baker just a little too ready to swing it to the plate, a little out in front of that one. However, still in a 1-1 count.
Maxim so far just recorded 1 out on the sacrifice hit by Manny Castro. The pitch, that one goes for a called strike. It's going to be a 1-2.
I mean, that's just paint right there. Nothing you can do about that if you're Brett Baker.
1-2 coming here for the left-handed batter against Maxim. He gets set. He kicks. He deals. That one. Did Baker swing? They asked. They say he did. Baker does not see it. Of course, the field umpire is over by the first base line, not towards the third base line. So for the man batting in the left-handed batter's box, not going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean, just an unfortunate situation here that there is only 2 umpires in these games for these left-handed hitters is, you know, again, we're not entirely sure if Baker goes around. However, no third base umpire to give a signal, so it winds up defaulting to the judgment of the first base umpire.
His first strikeout in his last 18 at-bats. That first pitch going to Jalen Tidwell goes outside past the glove of Lovejoy. It'll be a 1-0 count.
Yeah, and Tidwell looking to avoid getting another strikeout right here. Can just try and get himself on base here, get a little 2-out rally started for the Pioneers.
The throw for Maxim, that one is high. So far, Tidwell 0 for 4 in the ball game, all going by way of strikeout. It's now a 2-0 count coming in here. Maxim throws that one high, 3-0 now.
Yeah, and Tidwell already sitting on the golden sombrero. Looks like might be avoiding the platinum sombrero here, however, still in a 3-0 count at the plate.
So we'll see if he gets the green light to swing. Maxim throws. That one inside corner strike. Tidwell didn't like it, but he's not the one making the call. It's going to be a 3-1 count. And so now 3-1 coming here. The delivery, that one high, ball 4. Tidwell gets on safely, first time today for him. And now coming up is going to be Brandon Duback, who had that walk his last time up that scored a run following what was a controversial call that saw a swing that was fouled. We don't have a good look here from the press box to know if it truly did or did not hit the ground. The umpires discussed, ruled that it hit the ground, that avoided out number 3. First pitch to him goes up high. It'll be ball 1.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the biggest call of the game up to this point, without a doubt, is you figure if that pitch does get ruled strike 3, the Pioneers unable to score in the last inning.
The throw, that one, going to go in there for a strike. It started the 5 runs that they scored. Now scored 2 in this inning to make a 7-2 ball game in favor of Elmira. If they can get Auburn down 3 more times on outs, without allowing 5 or 6 runs, they head to Batavia tomorrow for the 4th seed in the West Division playoffs. That one swung on high towards foul territory to the right side, and it goes foul.
Yeah, so Dubeck just doing everything he can to stay alive here at the plate. I mean, so often he's able to work at bats because he just has exceptional bat-to-ball skills. This at-bat, he finds himself in the 1-2 count here. Going to have to try and work to get his pitch here, or really work to get the walk here, but Again, he's going to just do everything he can to just stay fighting at the plate.
Anthony Labonte alongside Evan Baird, taking you through these 9 innings here in Auburn, New York. The pitch, that one goes inside. The throw down towards second base from Lovejoy. Going to go past the second baseman. Tidwell slides on in. We'll get there. Stolen back for him. It's a 2-2 count on the inside pitch.
Yeah, and the Doubledays defensively a little bit lucky there that Tidwell didn't pop off the bag there at second base and break towards third with that throw going into center field.
So 2-2 now. Jalen Tidwell in scoring position for the Pioneers. Dumack looking to try and get another piece of this baseball. He had that double earlier in the ball game. The throw, that one inside. It's going to be a full count now here with Maxim on the mound.
And again, this at-bat just goes to show how difficult of an out Brandon Dubeck truly is at the plate.
Full count. Tidwell on second base. 2 down now. Kick, deal, that one swung on, heads towards right field. It's going back there. The right fielder, it's going to be over his head and hit the Chemung Canal Trust sign. That one will score a run. It's a double coming in for Brandon Dubeck. It is now going to be an 8-2 ball game.
And the Pioneers are fired up right now. We saw Manny Esley burst out of the dugout immediately after that ball got hit. Nearly everybody left in the dugout there goes out to greet the man who scores there. That makes it a 6-run game now in favor of the Pioneers. And they had the 3-run lead entering this inning, and now at worst it will be a 6-run lead heading to the bottom of the 9th.
Tyson Gingrich now comes up. He had that 2-run double his last time up with the bases loaded and gets ready to go now. The first pitch to him, that one's going to be high. It's going to be a 1-0. 6-run lead right now by the Pioneers. Despite a 2-0 deficit heading into the top of the 8th inning, they have scored 3 runs in this inning. That one outside. It's going to go 2-0.
Yeah, and Gingrich, just another guy who can fight at the plate. Obviously, the clutch double the last time he was up. He did that in a 2-strike count as well. So, again, nobody you can truly rule out of an at-bat until it's over.
Throw from Maxim. That one swung on there by Gingrich. Heads over to the right field. It's going back there. Right fielder moves back, makes the grab for the 3rd out. So we will head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Pioneers just need to record 3 more outs to get the win in the ball game. We'll see who ends up coming out, and it will be Zach Nelson. When we return, Zach Nelson looking to go for a complete game here from Falcon Park. We return here, bottom of the 9th inning. Pioneers just need 3 more outs to make it to the West Division playoffs and take on Batavia tomorrow. Auburn, they're locked into the 3 seed. This will determine whether it is Elmira making it to the playoffs or if it's Olean. If Auburn can score 7 runs, they will send Olean to Batavia. Right now, Zach Nelson gets back on the mound looking for his 9th inning of work. Getting ready here First pitch coming in. That one, a floater in there for a strike. Going on up against the batter here in Steve Ambrosio.
Yeah, Nelson definitely hasn't been as effective as some other starters have been this season, but given the magnitude of the game today, this feels like a contender for maybe the best start of the year for the Pioneers.
Ripped one foul down the left field line. It is now going to be an 0-2 count here for Ambrosio. And he'll step back up here. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. With a single that started things off, he scored the first run for Auburn. They scored their 2 runs in the first inning, so the Pioneers have been playing down ever since then. That one swung up. It's high in the air, heads over towards left field. Going underneath that one is going to be Trevor Reed for a can of corn in the out. 1 down, and now it's going to be coming up for the Doubledays is Teddy Monahan.
Yeah, I mean, a good job by Nelson to just go at these hitters, try and get the outs. Now you're pitching with a 6-run cushion. You can definitely be a lot more in the mindset of pitching to contact here, trying to make sure that you just get strikes across the plate, try and make your defense work, make them get those outs.
1 down here. Monahan comes up. Nelson throws. That one, breaking ball, no good. Ball 1 outside. So 1-0 count coming in now here for Teddy Monahan. He had a hit back in the first. The Doubledays have not had a hit since back in the 5th. That one goes for a called strike. It's going to be a 1-1.
Yeah, and I mean, again, Nelson just going at these hitters here right now, just trying to get the ball put in play.
There have only been 3 base runners for Auburn since that second inning. The pitch, that one, dropping in there but too low, below the knees for a ball.
The umpire turned as if he was going to signal it being a called strike and then doesn't make the call there. That pitch has definitely been pretty close all day.
2-1 the pitch, that one low again, 3-1.
And if you're Nelson, you can't lose him here. You don't want to try and lose the rhythm that you've put yourself into here. Just, again, try and put something over the plate here. If Monahan beats you, he beats you.
3-1. Jones gets set. Kick, throw, that one low, ball 4 outside. So on to first goes Teddy Monahan, his second time reaching safely today. And now Michael Ambrosio will step up for him as a sign is being given for him. There will be a pinch runner coming out here for the Auburn Doubledays. As Dustin will go over to first base for him, for Teddy Monahan, as now Michael Ambrosio gets ready and steps on in. A ground ball here could be turned for a double play. They did turn a double play back in the first inning when bats hit one on the ground. That one is swung high in the air, though. Attacking after that one is going to be Trevor Reed, who gets underneath it and makes the grab a little bit further off than you might hope for, but it's still the second out, and now the regular season in the West Division is down to their final out, as well as the season for Olean. Justin Batts comes up here with 2 down and a man on. Zach Nelson looking to get the complete game win to bring the Pioneers into the playoffs. First pitch, that one's too high. Ball 1 on the fastball.
Yeah, Nelson definitely hasn't been going fastball a ton first pitch so far today. We've seen him so many times try and throw the get-me-over off speed.
Throw back over to first base, not in time. 121 pitches Zach Nelson has thrown today. 168 he's thrown over the past 3 days.
I mean, talk about leaving it all on the field.
1-0, the pitch to Batts. That one bounces on in. Jones does a good job moving over to his right and blocking it with his blocker. That'll be a 2-0 count.
Yeah, that's a great job to block that over there behind the dish by Jones. And that's a big play because while there is 2 outs, a ground ball on the infield, and you can go to whichever bag is easier between first and second, and that keeps that in order.
2-0, Nelson set. Kicks, deals that one onto the stretch. That one will go for a ball. It's 3-0 here for Batts. Nacho Gonzalez on deck for the Doubledays. See if Batts gets the sign to go here. 3-0 the pitch. That one called strike. Fastball.
Yeah, I mean, that's the given right there. So many times at the plate in a game like this, you'll just I mean, you certainly do have the ability to swing at that one, but so many times you'll see it taken just to avoid recording the final out of the game in a 3-0 count.
3-1, the pitch, that one in there for another strike. It's a full count. This is reminding of Zach Nelson's performance against Batavia just those couple years ago, where he was able to just mow down them. Now down to the final strike for Olean's season. And to go to the playoffs, the pitch, that one swung onto center field. Getting underneath that one is Brett Baker, and the Pioneers are heading to the West Division playoffs and heading to Batavia to take on their rivals.
I mean, what a performance from Zach Nelson today. Goes the full 9 innings, surrenders just 4 base hits, gave up 2 runs, didn't give up a run since the first inning. He goes 8 shutout innings to complete his day today. Fantastic pitching performance, and the Pios are going dancing.
8 runs scored in 2 innings by the Elmira Pioneers. Takes down the number 3 team in Auburn. The comeback of the century for the Pioneers. They head to the West Division playoffs to take on Batavia. Gonna happen tomorrow evening. While Auburn, they get ready. They'll face off against Jamestown tomorrow. Did not have to move along with any sort of decision here today. But what a game by the Pioneers to move things along. What a season it's been.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an absolute roller coaster. You think back to opening night when they played against Batavia, had a lead going into the late innings of that one, but couldn't quite hold on. Today, a different story. Pioneers emerged victorious, and just an exclamation point on a whirlwind of a season.
Now they have 24 hours to prepare for their game against Batavia. And what we expect is Mikey Geisler and his over 90-mile-per-hour fastball to go against that Batavia team. We'll see who Batavia ends up throwing, but that will surely be a contest.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like whenever you have a guy with such a lively fastball on the mound, you put yourself in a situation where you can try and win games because of having a good pitching performance. Obviously, the Pioneers are going to need more than just a great pitching performance if they want to win tomorrow. It's going to come down to the bats as well, but we'll have to see it tomorrow.
And we will see tomorrow. From Auburn, New York, we'd like to give a special thank you to our owners, Robbie and Miss Nellie Nichols, alongside our general managers, Mark and Tabitha Witt. Our assistant general manager is Jacob Rhodes. For Evan Baird, I'm Anthony Labonte saying so long, and we'll see you tomorrow night. The Elmira Pioneers in the West Division playoffs. They take on Batavia when we get back here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network.